All right. Let's wait for the audio feed. Is a proposition we can debate about, and if you provide, so are you coming? Let's discuss it in VC. There's a proposition we can debate about, and if you so audio is good. This is the previous one. Okay, let's see what's going on. Tesla Cybertruck explosion controversy. I sued Portugal. Can't believe I'm saying this. Is the Bible true? Jesus Christ. Oh, this is interesting.
Now, fission chamber 3 checks out. Station seems to be running fine.
You're a talented thief, Kelso. Everything you set up seems to be fitting in place.
I'm kind of proud of the job we've done. Are we going to be ready to transport?
In such a case, you need to roll back.
You're leaving with the ship, Doctor.
He is not evil.
I gave you an order, Doctor. You should have killed me while you could, James. Command and compassion is a fool's mixture.
This is one of the best episodes ever.
So this Italian YouTuber?
Did you know that the idea for the first Star Trek movie was considered as early as 1967?
The first Star Trek movie is a copy of one of the episodes in which was very similar. I think it was also V'ger. It's just a copy of that episode. Let me see some messages. Wow, that's a hot chick. Jesus Christ. All right.
7. While filming for season 2 of the original series, DeForest Kelley, Gene Roddenberry, and Greg Peters were having lunch, and they discussed and brainstormed the idea for a Star Trek movie.
Yeah. Absolutely not. I'm not wasting my time. If you can't just provide it from the outset, happy to VC once you've got something ready to go. What does he want? If you can provide a clear definition of nonsense, such that veganism is utter nonsense, is, I would say, unscientific. Wait, how do you spell nonsense? 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 Why didn't it nonsense equals unscientific? Okay, so let's see what he says.
In 1968,
That's Gene Roddenberry. I didn't know he's fat.
while speaking at a science fiction convention. Gene Roddenberry had talked to a crowd about how he would like to make a feature film that would have told the story of how Kirk, Spock, and McCoy met at the Academy. In 1973, Roddenberry more seriously approached Paramount with the idea. Paramount was eager to get something in motion, as the fan base of Star Trek had rapidly grown due to the fact the original series was in syndication. The deal came to an abrupt halt when Roddenberry wanted an unprecedented $100,000 writing fee and producer's role. Paramount dropped the project. By 1975, Paramount was eager to get another Star Trek project underway. Roddenberry wanted to return Star Trek to television by having them as a special TV movie events, where he could have a bigger budget. However, Paramount was leaning more towards a movie. And finally, a new TV series that would have been called Star Trek Phase 2. Phase 2 was to be the sequel to the original Star Trek series with all of the original cast signed on. It was supposed to also be the flagship series to a new primetime television network, which would have been the Paramount Television Service. The show went so far as to have pre-production in full swing, 13 episode scripts written, concept art completed, various media prepared, set design completed, with a lot of set construction already begun. However, the deal to create the network fell through, and the TV show was scrapped, and it was decided by Paramount to turn the TV show into just a feature film. The show's pilot episode, called In Thy Image, served as the basis of the script for the motion picture. There was, however, a lot of pressure to finish the project quickly to recoup any lost costs. This resulted in a theatrical release in what the director considered to be a rough-cut version of the film. In 2001, Paramount let director Robert Wise have the opportunity to re-edit the film for the director's edition, which in my opinion is the best version of the motion picture. Did you know that the idea...
Any cats? Do you...
All right, let's have another look at this. Oh.
A few minutes later.
All right. Step 1, bass drum. Step 2, cowbell. Step 3, hi-hats. Step 4, snare drum. What in the world was that? Okay. This guy's got to be a robot, man. This is insane. Wow. I literally don't know any drummer that's better than this. Do you?
Unbelievable.
Crazy, man. All right, let's have another look at this.
Wow.
If somebody comes and opens my door of my vehicle, I may shoot him too. He could have driven off. If he wanted to talk to her, he could have called her on her cell phone. If he really wanted to talk.
This lady has 106 dogs. So how many?
Super radiance. A dazzling.
This lady has 106 dogs.
Is this his wife?
So
Super radiance. A dazzling quantum.
The original Star Trek series is canceled in 1969 in only its third season. A furious letter writing campaign begins, and it isn't enough to save the show. The cast and crew that were associated with the show thought they had a good run, but decided to go their separate ways. Paramount decided to make money off of Star Trek by selling the 79 episodes to various small broadcasting companies. One of the small broadcasting companies was a small company named Kaiser Broadcasting, which was broadcasting on the UHF frequency. He was one of the first to pioneer the airing of Star Trek at a great time slot. The owner of Kaiser was a huge Star Trek fan, and he began to air the Star Trek episodes at the 6 p.m. slot as counter-programming to network news. It was brilliant, and Kaiser Broadcasting had a huge hit on its hands with Star Trek reruns. Soon, other broadcasting companies followed suit and purchased syndication rights from Paramount. And in 1971, Star Trek was playing all across the country, and millions of new fans who never saw Star Trek became huge Star Trek fans through the reruns. The original Star Trek series is canceled in 19...
Not my fault the state can't afford to keep.
Try this. Ask it to draw a picture of
a 500-year-old lost mending trick. Learn to never go to the tailor's shop again.
Just look at this flock of birds. It's so majestic, but how did...
Name?
Kandalian Singh.
From 1992 through 1996, absolute ruler of more than a quarter of your world. From Asia through the Middle East. The last of the tyrants to be overthrown.
I must confess.
So for them, it was like in the far future. Wait, there's 3 messages. Veganism is utter unscientific. Does not look like a proposition. You check marked it, so okay, that's nonsense, unscientific. Mm. Okay. These guys are impossible to debate. Like, you try to pick a fight with them. No, we're not gonna fight you. Just rephrase it to say veganism is not a well-defined concept. Whatever I say, they're going to nitpick. So let me see. Veganism is okay. Veganism is utterly unscientific. Then just go with veganism is unscientific. Veganism, well, nonsense. When I say utter nonsense, why does it not autocomplete? Utter nonsense equals unscientific. You think you can get this retard to understand basic semantic analysis, term substitution, and logic? Whenever you are ready to get your face to be used as my mop. Anyway, like, obviously he is nowhere near able to track things like that. Okay. VC now. And he doesn't want to learn. Oh yeah, I don't want to learn. Teach me, oh great one. Teach me. VC now. Come teach me. He just wants to not understand critiques and ramble at you. Yeah. Say the people who don't let you speak, period. Anyway. Why can't I hear incoming messages? Oh my god, more messages. Let me see. All right. Message. You already know my conditions, retard. No, I don't. You run away from debating me because you know I will mop the floor with your face again. Well, then you should have paid attention. Now you'll have to go look for them. Look for whom? But you can find them and meet them anytime, and I'm happy to then VC. Okay, whatever. Stop running away. Put on your big boy diapers and face me. I'll be very gentle. Why do you want to be a lol cow? I love mopping the floor with vegans. Well, vegans' faces. Vegans claim to have some moral high ground, and I love showing them that they are just as moral as Nazis. Vegans equal Nazis. Again, back to not even tracking, rambling. Okay, whatever. As if anything will happen other than you getting mocked until you meet the conditions. LMAO retard. Haha. What an absolute moron. Ask yourself, you are not denying that you are as ethical as a Nazi. LOL. Refusing to understand. Veganism equals Nazism. Change my mind. Change my mind. Wait, didn't I write change my mind? That's weird. It disappeared. Change my mind. That's weird. God, I can't imagine how horrible it would be to be so stupid, having all these smart people explaining basic philosophy to me, refusing to understand anything, unable and willing to reproduce their critique. I simply can't imagine being such a pathetic and shameful person. Wait, where again? Follow the instructions. Or you're just yelling at the clouds. Okay, once instructions are met, you can have some of my time. I don't even know what he's talking about. Stop pooping your diapers and face me, VC now. So your proposition is veganism is unscientific, correct? If so, I just don't really care. That's a mundane proposition. Well, so you agree? Okay, let me make it a little bit deeper. Veganism. Veganism is unscientific. Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can barely hear you.
This is better. Yeah.
Much better, yeah. What's up? Are you following the
Why do you?
discussion?
I'm seeing it in chat.
Hmm.
Why do you keep saying these propositions? I don't understand.
Because vegans claim to have a moral high ground, and that's disinformation. Vegans don't have a moral high ground. Stop
He's giving
spreading.
you the criteria of like you gotta form his view or like you
Wait,
gotta
what?
make an argument. Why can you
What do you
do either of
mean?
those things?
I don't know what he means. I honestly, I don't know what he's talking about.
You don't know what an argument is?
I know what an argument is. I don't know what he wants. What he keeps saying
What is an
condition.
argument?
I know what an argument is, but I don't know what
What is an argument?
an argument. You know, to
Yeah.
argue, like to support your claim, support your proposition.
How do you do that?
I guess you would start from an axiom and the laws of logic, which are more axioms. You would use the axioms to create, to build, to build a system, at the end of which you would conclude with whatever conclusion with the proposition, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like I would have to go like negotiate. Like when you debate someone, you need to agree. I don't know what he accepts as an axiom, what he wouldn't. Like I don't
None
know.
of like you don't need an axiom or any of that stuff. Like
What do you mean? You have to have axioms.
you just need premises
Okay, premise is an
and a
axiom.
conclusion.
Okay,
Just need
fine.
premises and a conclusion.
Fine. Would you call a
So
premise? A premise is an axiom. That's fine. Premise. Okay.
he wants like a list of premises and a conclusion.
I don't know. Okay. But I don't know what we're even debating. Like I made so many I put up so many propositions. So which
Yeah, but you have
one?
to make the argument for it. You have to like type out the. You remember how I was listing? I showed you what generally an argument form looks like.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of
It's
understand.
like
So like, but
all systems are based on axioms. Veganism and Nazism are systems.
okay, but
Any system based on axioms are equivalent in ethical worth. Veganism and Nazism are
yeah.
equivalent in ethical worth. Yeah, like give something like that, and then you're
So
getting somewhere.
we can give exactly what we wrote. We can take
Well, yeah,
exactly.
type that in the chat. I mean, I think it's a bad argument, but like type it if you want to even
Fine.
start to get off the floor.
Wait, let me see which one. All systems are based on axioms. Veganism and Nazism are systems. Any system based on axioms are equivalent in ethical worth. Veganism and Nazism are equivalent ethically. Let me see this one. All axioms have equal ethical value. Ethical systems are axioms. Positive. Okay, I guess all axioms. Let me see this one. All axioms have equal ethical value. Ethical systems are axioms. Something that veganism and Nazism are ethical systems. Let's start from this one. Okay, so P1. All axioms have equal ethical value. That's good. Ethical systems are axioms. Yeah, axioms, axiomatic. Okay. Wait a minute. All axioms have equal ethical value, and then we're saying ethical systems. You know, it's a chicken and an egg. We use the term ethical. We didn't define ethical. All axioms have equal. You can't.
Hold on.
What?
I'm gonna send you
Mm-hmm.
2 videos.
Mm-hmm. No. I'm not watching videos.
I'm sending them to you. I'm telling you, if you don't understand, that, if
No.
you
It
don't
doesn't
understand,
matter. No. I'm
no,
telling
it
you.
does. It does matter. You're never going to even come close to a debate until you understand the concepts in these 2 videos.
Look.
That is the foundation
No.
of this stuff you need to know before even thinking about engaging with these people.
No. That you're assuming that these videos are correct. These videos are wrong. Because no system is complete. So you're always going to find issues with every system. So it's like it's a waste of
If you have
time.
an issue with it, sure, but if you don't understand what's happening in these videos,
No,
you're not even going to come close to having a debate with them. It's not going to happen.
it's
You're just going
fine.
to sit and chat and complain.
It's
the whole time.
fine. Look, as long as he's running away from me, I don't care. I mean,
No, nobody's running away from you. He's just setting standards for the debate. And if you don't know, it's like some dumbass is rambling about how climate change isn't real, and you have a dude that has a PhD in climate science, and the person doesn't know what CO2 is. No, that's what's happening right now. You're lacking basic
it
knowledge
doesn't
to be
matter.
able to understand the concept.
Look.
No,
All
he's not going to debate with you.
axioms, fine. Look, what am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. Fine. He doesn't want to debate. He doesn't want to debate. What can I do? He wants to pretend that his
Wait. Why are you
what?
removing all of the power from yourself?
What do you mean?
You're being such a victim right now. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. If he won't debate, he won't debate. No, he set out the standards for you, and you're just choosing not to follow the standards.
Look, I'm rewriting.
Stop being a fucking powerless victim. There's something you can do about it.
Okay. Listen.
You're just choosing not to, and take ownership of that.
Okay. Hold on. Look, what we wrote together. All axioms have equal ethical value. We didn't define ethical.
No, you're not going to do that thing where I say something and you don't engage at all with what I just said.
No, I'm even if I'm accepting what you said, I'm letting you know there is an issue with what you wrote. Right?
I don't agree with that argument. I think the argument's stupid, but I'm just saying that's an example of an argument that you can give to get you off.
No. You're gonna if you want to nitpick any system, you can nitpick any system. I'm not
nitpicking right now.
But you
nitpicking.
can.
You're nitpicking.
I'm not.
I'm giving you the basic tools of logic to try to help you out. Prop logic is it's not hard. I'm not even
it's not a
joking.
question.
It's not a hard concept to grasp.
It's not a question of hard or easy. It's a question of no system is complete. 1 +
That's
1
irrelevant. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Everything I'm gonna tell him, he's gonna nitpick. He doesn't want to debate me.
That's not true. That
Okay,
he's
you want to bet?
Everything.
You want to put money on it? Yeah,
No,
kidding? Of course he's running away. He doesn't want to debate.
No, dude. Do you think you're some master debater?
It's nothing to do with that. He doesn't want to debate.
Do you think people are scared of you? Your perception of yourself has to be so far removed from what's actually happening for you to actually think that you're good at debate. You're in a completely different area right now. I know this might work with normal political people who don't know propositional logic, but to everybody who does, you just sound like a rambling idiot. I'm trying to give you the tools so you can learn propositional logic so you can even engage in this space. And you can choose to learn that or choose to not learn that. But like the tools are there. You just have to take advantage of them.
Okay, look, can you help me? You want to try and help me write the whatever he wants right now without me having to now take a course and waste my time?
It's
'Cause
literally it's 2 hours of content that you can play on 2 times speed.
okay,
But I could help
can
you
you?
form that argument. I could help you form the argument. Well, once you get in the debate, it's not going to help you very much because it's like you're not even going to know
Okay,
why
fine, all right. Let's.
it's valid or not. Like you're
Okay,
not even going to know any of
fine,
that.
fine. Let's try and write what he wants just to prove that he's always going to run away. That's that's what I believe. I believe he's always going to run away. He's never going to want to face me. He's always run away from me.
There's no way you're going to be able to make an argument for that.
What do you mean? Argument for what? Like,
Actually, hold up. If you don't want to watch the videos, I could just teach you propositional logic.
so just
if
let's
you
go.
want.
Let's just go through
Like-
these. The P1, P2, P3, C. Okay, all axioms have equal ethical value. That's already a problem. You can't say that. You can't start from that because you didn't define ethical. You didn't define value. You didn't define axiom. You didn't define anything. So you if you want, you're gonna
This
get.
is your argument that you signed off on.
I'm saying every system is incomplete. You're never gonna have a complete system. So, well, I don't know what he wants. There's no complete system.
So why would he bother communicating with you if you just think like the words are meaningless? They don't mean anything.
I'm not saying words are meaningless. I'm saying if you want to nitpick, you can nitpick any.
Nobody's trying to nitpick right now. We're just
Okay.
trying to understand what you're saying, and what you're saying is very unclear.
I wish that were true. So, what do you want me to say? Tell me what to say, right? You know what I want. I want to come up with, right? I believe veganism does not have a moral high ground over Nazism, right? That's all I want to say. That's obvious to me.
Okay, so by what you mean that, do you just arbitrary?
Well, it's not what I mean. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean what you mean, what everybody means when they say, right, veganism and Nazism are morally equivalent.
So do you mean by that? Do you mean arbitrary?
Morally equivalent? Whatever
By
morality, whatever
yeah,
morality.
Do you mean that they are arbitrary?
No, I mean whatever morality.
Don't mean that they're arbitrary.
No, whatever morality you assign to each of them. Right, you're assigning it. Yeah, you could say you're assigning it arbitrarily. I guess you could say that.
Okay, if that's what that means, then Ask Yourself isn't going to disagree because he's a subjectivist.
Okay, then what do you mean? Then just exactly when I say veganism equals Nazism.
So why would then you're back? You're then back at the point. So like, why would he have an interest in talking to you? Because he agrees with that proposition.
Agree. Then he should say, "I agree." There's no reason to debate. I agree. Veganism.
Yeah, well, you haven't explained
here,
that all you mean by when you say
nothing to
there's no moral high ground is that they're arbitrary.
But do you
or
feel
that they're subjective? Like,
okay, look, do you feel veganism has a moral high ground over Nazism? Yes or no?
if all you mean by that is arbitrary, no. Or sorry, if all you mean by that is arbitrary, then yes, I agree.
What do you mean? Why do you say if what you mean by that is such and such? Like you can?
Because that's what you just said.
No. Is there any other way?
If you're using a different version of the word, then no.
Forget about what I'm saying. Is there any? Do you feel veganism?
Okay, you do.
Do you feel? Wait,
okay, you're being stupid right now.
Hold on. You're a vegan.
You're being stupid.
Hold on.
You're being stupid.
Stop. You're a vegan.
You're being stupid. Like you're saying you have an argument for something, and then you're saying like, who cares what I mean by my argument? Like what? how am I supposed to know if I agree with your argument if I don't know what you mean by your argument? Like, are you asking me what I mean by your argument? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay. Do you feel right? You're a vegan, right?
Are you brain dead?
Why are you not answering the question?
You just why aren't you answering my question? The fuck?
Why am I not answering your question?
Are you asking me stuff like, am I vegan? We talked for like 5 hours yesterday.
I'm setting you up to show you that it doesn't depend on me, right? You're a vegan. Why are you a vegan? Right? You're a vegan. You're not a
Yeah,
Nazi.
if I came in here saying that I have an argument for veganism that I want to give, then the burden would be on me to lay out that argument. But that's not what's happened.
Okay.
You've laid out multiple propositions that you don't have arguments for, and that's why other people aren't debating you. And they've also seen how you've engaged in debates with other people. So yeah, you have a pretty trash reputation.
Okay, look.
So it's pretty reasonable for someone to say, what is the argument for that before I engage with the debate?
Okay.
In a debate with you. Like, what do you mean by this proposition?
Listen. You.
Because why am I going to join a VC if I don't even know if I disagree with the proposition?
Okay, you gotta let me speak a little bit. You gotta stop shutting me up, because it's hopeless like this. You complaining endlessly. You're not letting me speak. It's like, so I don't know what to do. You gotta stop this behavior. What's the point of you shutting me up all the time? Like, why are you doing that?
Could you repeat that?
Why do you keep shutting me up?
Hello, can you say that again?
What do you mean?
I couldn't hear you with like all that talk down your throat.
All the what?
The dick and balls that's in your mouth, release it.
What are you talking about?
So I can hear you properly.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well, yeah, they set out the criteria. Come up with an argument if you want to learn the basic propositional logic. There are plenty of people who are willing to teach you that, including me. But that's going to be a requirement before you get off the ground with a lot of these people. I'm just nice, so I'll like take time out of my day to teach you that. But also plenty of resources in both of those channels. I don't like. Not difficult stuff.
Okay. I don't
Maybe
know.
my IQ is just high, but I don't think it's difficult.
I don't know what you're saying. You keep walking away, like moving away from your mic, and you're not
I'm
speaking.
saying there are plenty of resources in these channels. People are willing to teach you basic propositional logic so you can come up with an argument. People are willing to help you form an argument. People are willing to help you understand these concepts. But if you're not willing to learn, then no, you're not going to get a debate with the people that you want to get debates out of. You just come off as whiny to a lot of people, dude. Because you're like,
look, when I talk to you,
like I expect like children to
Okay.
act like this, and you're not a child.
Okay, look, when I talk to you, you barely let me complete sentences. So, like, if
Are you just gonna reply and say but you're mean though? Is that your argument? Like, but you're mean though?
it's nothing to do with me.
Grow up, dude.
Okay,
Accept the situation for what it is.
bye.
You gotta learn some basics about logic before you engage with some people.
All right. See you later. It's not about outperforming. I mean, it's like this guy doesn't let you finish a single sentence. Like, it's a waste of time to talk to him. It's like you cannot talk. Like it's his. He talks. He doesn't answer questions. He's like he. It's a one-way street with him. So it's a waste of time. I've spent hours with him. It's a waste of time. Okay. Whenever any vegan is ready to face me, I'm in the VC for now. Veganism equals Nazism. That's it. Yeah, for hours. Yeah, that's the way he is. Congratulations. Yeah, that's the way he is. Like he doesn't let he when I speak, he ignores me. It's like he's the master and I'm the slave, and I'm like supposed to just receive his endless abuse. So it's at the end of the day, it's a waste of time. Yeah, I don't think vegans are gonna. The vegans on Ask Yourself are going to join me in the VC. Okay, whatever. It's a waste of time. They're not joining the vegan world server. Let's see, friendly vegan. Oh, they're both on quiet. Maybe this. No, that's dead. It's basically impossible to debate vegans. Hello. Hello. No, nothing. Didn't I have other vegan servers here? Let me see. Vegan games. What about this server? Nothing. Wait. Globe Gangsters died. Halsey's dead. Maybe this? Oh, but he's not listening. Feminist Rage? Hello? Strictly Gooning? What's that?
I mean, yeah, right. 'Cause, you know,
Oh my god, we were talking about slaves and Mr. Slave joined.
Hey, what's up?
it's true. What's up?
Is
Wait,
this the Italian guy you were talking about?
what are you talking about?
I usually mop the floor with everyone's face in debate. Oh my god, the sucking nuts is real.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you want to debate me?
Oh,
I don't do debates. Who the hell
sure.
debates online? Do you really think that someone on the internet is gonna change their opinion just because you told them to?
I've had many people come to me and thank me for saving them, saving their lives through
Are you Jeremy?
I'm sorry if I laughed.
Saving their
What do you
lives.
What do you
Saving
mean?
their lives for debate.
there's
Yeah.
videos of people coming to me and thanking me, entire servers.
Oh my god,
What?
Mr. Slave, thank you. You turned me into a Democrat. You saved my life.
But what are the things you saved them? Like, what is the topic? Is it religion?
Personally, people have come to me that I saved them from veganism. That's like my main thing on Discord is veganism. I'm an
How does
anti-vegan.
veganism destroy someone's life?
So wait, you are anti-vegan, right?
Yeah.
You save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Then you are doing the world a good favor. I already like it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Save
Yeah,
them
but
from
he saved
veganism.
their life.
Oh, that's actually cool.
I don't eat meat. I'm gonna kill myself. No, eat meat. Life saved.
Saved. Mission passed. Respect plus. So, what are your arguments against the people that say, "Oh no, you gotta save the ecosystem. It's your responsibility to take care of the animals. They suffer."
Wait, what?
Mr. Smith?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I was asking, what are your arguments against the vegans?
The
Save
main
the vegan.
issue is that vegans believe that veganism has some. You're hot micing with the bathtub or something. Maybe you could do
Oh, my bad. It's the dishes.
Oh, it's fine.
Let 9K be comfortable.
My main issue with vegans is that they claim that veganism has some moral high ground, which is
Right.
So I believe that's disinformation. No system has any moral high ground over any other system.
Oh, so you believe everything is subjective, relative, morals and ethics included.
No, not even that. Not even that. Like
So
you
what do you mean by? No, go ahead.
like you cannot claim that you're better than me. It's not that everyone can claim that they're better than the other one. No one can claim that they're any better than the other guy. There's
I
no.
mean, only if you're measuring things with numbers, I guess, and results, right? Like, I can claim that I'm a better racer than you if I actually run faster, right? And finish races and all that.
Yeah.
Morals and ethics, I do see what you're saying.
Yeah. Right. Good point. Yeah. So, like, when it comes to ethics, there is no moral. Right. There's no moral high ground. No system has a moral high ground over any other system.
Right. Only if you believe in a god or a religion, or else, yeah, it doesn't.
But that's so. My claim would be that you cannot believe in a god or in a religion. You're lying.
Excuse me, the VC is strictly gooning.
What is strictly gooning? I don't even know.
I literally explained to you what gooning is when you died.
Mm-hmm. It's me and Amy's favorite thing to do together.
Oh.
What? No, it doesn't mean that. No, it doesn't mean that. Gooning is not being serious, I guess. Dan, can you explain since you're the Americano?
Wait, is gooning the thing that the guy watches the woman be with another man?
No, that's cooking. That's what Amy's obsessed with for some reason. But
That's Dan.
no, that's what Amy's mom loves to do.
That's Dan.
That's what Amy's mom loves.
That's
all the
Dan.
time.
Okay, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Alright, sleep.
You might get fucked if you snap your think about just how bad COVID was when it comes to
That's what I was gonna say in terms of our capitalist or like almost social democratic education system where we are funding the public schools. That still happened, and it happened even worse than we're talking about. It happened during COVID. do you have you talked to like a child recently? Like they can't they can't articulate themselves. Like kids that were in school during COVID, school did not help them at all.
Okay, but like what I'm saying
Now,
is what you're advocating for will exacerbate a problem instead of mitigate or reduce it, right? It's like talking to someone who, you know, it's like, hey, Jimmy, you've got like lung cancer. And it's like, yeah, man, it sucks. And you see him smoking a cigarette, and it's like, bro, like, are you sure you should be doing that? And he's just like,
Oh my god. Most of the servers are dead. There's something here. I guess I have to go to PNR. PNR is the only active server, actually. Hello.
How's it going?
Okay. Are you a Muslim?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So,
Are
what do you
you?
got? No, I'm not. I'm anti-religion. Are you pro-religion?
No.
What?
I said no.
Hmm.
Sorry, Chief.
Do you want to talk?
Oh, sounds like we agree.
Hello. Oh, it's dead. Fat shamey? Oh, veganism. That's good.
So yeah, I'm not surprised that he thinks that like it's all going to a plan if that's how much time he's put into it. Hey, Peace, add me as a friend. Why are you doing this to me?
Doing what? What am I doing, dude? I don't
Sometimes
understand.
I wanna like DM you a quick thought, like when we're in the group chat, and I can't because we're not friends on my alternate account.
Oh, okay.
Is now my main.
I gotcha.
What do? You can't.
Hello.
That's my concern is if you can't keep up with production, you're gonna have a huge, massive, almost like global, like migrant issue. People are just gonna be moving around, just trying to get in to these nations
Well,
where
I
they
say
can
I think
get
we
a better
reached a
standard of life.
place of contention that Tesla might be interested in. But you said like for some, I think you said like they should crack down on like
Like I would say veganism equals Nazism, but there's no vegans. It's impossible to find vegans to debate. Set name veganism equals Nazism. Invalid. Words not allowed for server. Oh my god, you can't say Nazism? So, Nazism. Okay. It's like they're forcing us to change our language. Oh my god, let me go get a drink. I'll be right back. Okay. Hellos.
Hello.
Hi.
Crazy title.
Are you a vegan?
No, I accidentally clicked actually, but I thought I would want to hear why you put that title.
Well,
is it just for the clicks? Like,
no, veganism
no?
is Nazism.
I just want to hear. I
I
mean,
mean, do you think veganism is better than Nazism?
I want to hear the comparison. I don't think I want to debate you. I just want to hear what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So
veganism is an, you can say that it's an ethical system, right?
Yes.
And Nazism is also an ethical system.
Okay. But can ethics not be different? Like,
no, all ethical.
So ethics is always the same.
Yeah. You cannot say that one ethical system is better than another. There's no difference.
But isn't that the thing with different ethics?
No.
Like having different understandings?
Yeah, but none of them.
Like different priorities.
Sure.
Isn't that the whole thing with the trolley problem?
Sure, sure, but
that you use different ethics to understand who you're gonna save.
Yeah, but you cannot say that one is better than the other. You cannot say that one ethical system is better
But
than.
doesn't people like argue about what is the best ethical system?
That's impossible. No system is.
What?
By what?
Yeah, obviously it's hard to understand which is the best, but people argue about it.
You can't.
But
how do you measure?
You cannot argue about it.
By
What?
By what measure? How do you measure?
No, it doesn't measure. It's just you can argue, you can discuss about pros and cons, of course.
How?
Let's go.
You can't.
Well,
right, because you need an ethical system to define the pros and the cons. You only have pros and cons within an ethical system. So you cannot compare ethical systems unless you have an ethical system that contains both. But then you've chosen one ethical system over the others as the arbiter. Why did you choose that? You had no reason.
I understand what you mean, but I think if you say basic ethics,
let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. So
okay,
let's compare Nazism to veganism, right? So could you say one is better than the other? Let's say in veganism,
I think they're very different.
Okay, but can you say one is better? In any way, can you say one is better? Let's say in Nazism.
Yeah. Well, I think veganism is better because it doesn't inherently kill or like discriminate people.
Whatever you would say, that's your ethical system, right? So
Absolutely.
But that's outside.
I would have a.
But you're evaluating Nazism from an outside ethical system, so that's a third ethical system. But
maybe.
Okay, fine, but you're not.
What's going on here?
But then you first need to set up the third ethical system as the arbiter. But then you.
But how does that make them the same?
What's going on?
We're comparing.
I just want to understand the title. I feel like
we're comparing veganism to Nazism. So we're asking which can you say that one is better than the other? Can you say veganism is better or Nazism is better? Or are they identical?
And you?
No, you can't. I don't see how.
It's logically impossible.
I don't see how.
Perhaps.
Right? Any ethical system is an arbitrary system. It's an axiomatic system. There's no logic behind an ethical system. An ethical system is axiomatic. Like veganism, let's say, loves animals, and Nazism loves killing gypsies or whatever. Okay?
Cheers. Killing people and taking over.
Whatever. So Okay, that's an arbitrary love. Vegans arbitrarily love animals, and Nazis arbitrarily love murdering people. Okay, but they're both axiomatic. They both whatever. You can't say one is better than the other. That's it.
Actually, one kind of is better.
Which is better?
One people don't want to get. People won't get killed.
Who says
They'll die.
Who says it's better
They'll
not
both
to kill?
die.
Who
They'll
says
both.
dying? Who says what's good or
People will
bad?
die in both of
Yes.
them.
Who
That's
says
the point.
Who says
Yeah.
dying?
How do we prioritize, or what's the ethical system that tells that people are worth something? We have to have a third like system.
Exactly.
But I don't like vegans. Nazis are all right.
That's a switch up.
It doesn't matter. It's arbitrary.
Are you a vegan?
No, I hate vegans. Vegans are evil.
I hate them too. They're literally hurting themselves by not eating any animal products.
I hate vegans basically as much as I hate Nazis.
Oh my god, there's a guy named Mr. Fridge. Hold up.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting take.
Yeah.
I think I understand, but I don't know how you're gonna go further with the discussion. If you
There's
understand what I
nothing
mean.
further. It's like when you
Yeah, exactly.
when
Because you shows that you have to have a further ethical point,
right.
like the worth
Right.
of
But
life.
when you try and explain this to vegans, good luck. It's like they suddenly their brains don't work. Suddenly they don't know what you mean. You can spend the entire life explaining this to them and you can't. It's too complicated. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like hours and
Yeah, but that's
hours.
like outside of ideology. That's just
Right.
as you say. Well, interesting. I haven't
That's
thought
what
about
you
it like that.
mean.
I always think like the trolley problem, and you have like, but that's like a problem you have to put it like these ethical systems too, and not if you just compare them by themselves. You have to use something to compare it with. So yeah, interesting.
It's really serious. Yo.
Yo.
What do you mean by like a third ethical system?
Like, what do you think is better, veganism or Nazism?
I would say veganism myself.
What? Are you a vegan?
No.
Okay. You think
Veganism is
veganism is
more
better?
moral.
So you think veganism is better than Nazism?
I do.
Mhm.
I think so.
Why?
Because of the
Because it's
moral
less
system that
it's
you
less
use.
harmful.
Okay, but why do you like something that is less harmful?
Because I feel
It
emotionally
benefits everybody.
positive towards that.
No, because it benefits everybody if to be less harmful.
Yeah, but why do you like to benefit with less harmful?
Some emotional deep.
Do I like to benefit with less harmful? Why wouldn't I like to benefit with?
Right. At the end, there's no reason why you like what you like. You just don't like
What if it's just like,
harming, right?
yeah, I just like it.
Exactly. That's called.
No, that's not true. That's not true. There is a reason for everything. Every reason you like, bro. That's not true.
But at the end,
They said there was the reason.
but at the end, if I ask you why do you prefer vanilla over chocolate, you don't have a reason.
I might not know the reason, but there is a reason.
Okay, if you don't know,
Okay, so
then that's
Maybe the reason could be my taste buds are modified to like that flavor over the other flavor. I didn't. It's no way I can know that reason. It's still a reason.
okay. But if you don't know the reason, that's when we say, okay, that's the axiom. We've reached the ground truth. It's just axiomatic. You prefer vanilla over chocolate. That's the assumption. That's the working assumption that we're going to start from. But that means your entire. So if you're going to tell me that you prefer veganism over Nazism, at the end it's going to end up as an axiom. It's going to be founded.
Yeah.
Your preference for veganism is going to be axiomatic. So it's
So
not
similar to
What
saying
does
that
axiom
1 plus
mean?
1 equals 2. Like,
Yeah.
if I didn't have the system of mathematics, and
exactly
there's no point of asking the question.
right. The same goes for 1 plus 1 equals 2. Like at the end of the day, if I ask you, but what is 1? What is plus? What is equal? At the end, it's going to be something axiomatic. Every system is built on axioms, on some.
What does axiomatic mean?
Axiomatic means that there's nothing.
Yeah, just there's no justification, like further justification that you can go. It doesn't mean that they're like weighed equally, like somebody said.
Right. There's no foundation. It is axiom is the foundation of your system. That's your ground truth. There's no reason for an axiom. That's the definition of
Oh,
an
so you're
axiom.
saying you make the foundation?
Yeah. An axiom is the foundation of any system. It's some arbitrary foundation without which you don't have a system. Any system, including mathematics and logic, must have some ground truth from which you start. But that ground truth is some arbitrary axiom that we just decided nilly-willy to assert. But that means your entire system is built on an assertion, which means your entire system is altogether not founded. It doesn't have actual foundation. It's sitting.
You say it's false.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means every system is false.
Say if it's like based on an axiom, it's false.
It means no system is true. No system is true.
False. I don't think I understand. I don't think I agree with that.
True or false, or no system is like
Well,
false system.
truth and false are words in English, and the English system in itself is like all other systems. It doesn't have foundation. So, but within logic, true and false are like you can say are defined in logic, but again, they are axioms. You can define the axiom of what is truth and the axiom of what is false, but these are arbitrary axioms.
Okay.
I don't think just because we make something
you
means
could,
it's false.
You could be a subjectivist and just say that, axioms are arbitrary, but that doesn't mean that. You could say nazism and veganism are equally arbitrary. But that doesn't mean like that they're both good, like they're both equally good. Like you could agree that the preference for vanilla is stronger than
I don't know what you're saying. You're away from your mic and you're.
Right. Just because it's arbitrary doesn't mean that's like important or that they're equal. Like I arbitrarily prefer vanilla over ice cream, and so I weigh vanilla more than ice. Sorry, I prefer vanilla over chocolate. Just the same as I might arbitrarily be preferring veganism over Nazism. But I don't think that they're equal. That's why I prefer one over the other. Like it doesn't.
Like you're
just saying subjectivism.
No, so you could say.
Sorry, what did you disagree about? What I just said?
Like preferring vanilla over chocolate, you could argue that that's like you actually enjoy it, right? You could argue and you can prove that you can enjoy it, and you can start from an axiom of joy. But veganism versus Nazism, I like. What do you enjoy? Like you would have to.
I could just value pleasure and not value pain.
But that has nothing to do with veganism and Nazism. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, veganism is an extension of. You could say it's an extension of those axioms.
Of what? Of pain and pleasure.
If you're utilitarian, like veganism would probably follow more than Nazism, and thus, like, I have no idea why they would be equal. You could just say that, according to my axioms of like maximizing well-being and reducing suffering, veganism would have like plus 100 pleasure and like Nazism would have minus 100 pleasure and plus 100 suffering, and so in that case, they literally would not be equal.
Yeah, but
so I don't know why you would say veganism and Nazism are equal.
Because you just assigned arbitrary values.
Yeah, I already agreed it's arbitrary. That's not going to be
but
like make a difference for like
no,
whether they're the same value or not.
No, but you
It's
assigned
an arbitrary value, and the values are different.
But you arbitrarily assigned the values.
Yeah, but you can't just keep repeat saying like okay, but it's arbitrary. Like I agree that it's arbitrary, and I value them differently.
No, you don't.
Arbitrarily.
No, you don't. That's not.
Do you have an argument for why I don't?
That's not the definition of valuing. You don't value arbitrarily.
Okay, what do you mean the definition of valuing?
To value something, right? That's like an emotion.
Do you have a definition of value that you like to?
What do you mean? It's like the word in English, to value something, right? You value, you appreciate it. We can measure it.
So how am I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One, you might not be able to measure value. But two, like I don't know how I was using the word value incorrectly. Why can't I use my own version of value? I think
it's you just said you're arbitrarily assigning values. That's not the definition of to value. That's not valuing.
Saying that I arbitrarily assign the value, I'm not trying to propose a definition of value there.
But if it's arbitrary, then that's not value. That's arbitrary, and then they're equal.
If it's arbitrary, it's not valuable.
Right. If you're.
Do you have an argument for that?
Yeah. If it's.
What's the argument for that?
It's the opposite. Arbitrary is the opposite of to value. That's literally the opposite.
Arbitrary is the opposite of to value.
Yeah. By definition.
Right.
To value something. If you value something, that's the opposite of having arbitrary emotions towards it. Right? It's the opposite. It's not arbitrary. It's right? Do you value a girl's love? That's the opposite of arbitrarily picking a chick. It's the I would say it's the opposite.
Okay. Are you equivocating like two different meanings of the word arbitrary here? Like, do you mean random in this context? Because if that's what you mean by arbitrary, I don't agree that it's arbitrary.
You are so yeah. I mean, arbitrary is random. No, you don't.
No, that's not the definition I was going with at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then I don't understand. I mean, as far as I know, arbitrary and random are basically synonyms. Somebody's hot micing like crazy. Somebody's touching their mic. Did the other guy leave?
No.
Who is the guy that was?
Like when you say
Onyx.
When you say random, like I have no idea what you're talking about. Like I'm not flipping a coin like on my values and just saying like, oh, this one. Like that's not what's happening.
When you say arbitrary, that as far as I understand, that's the same as random. That's the same as flipping a coin.
Those are not the same thing.
So okay, then how do you assign the value?
Wait, when you think I go into the store and I say I arbitrarily picked vanilla ice cream, you think that I like flipped the coin, or you think I was like, don't value vanilla over chocolate or something like that?
That's not. That's the opposite of arbitrary. That's because you value. You value vanilla over chocolate. That's the opposite of arbitrarily picking.
Okay, so I value veganism over Nazism.
Why? Can we measure it?
Do I have to give a reason why? Can I just say that's the case? Like you're saying that they have to be equal.
Well, that's like vanilla. It's like we can measure it with your taste buds. Like we.
Oh, okay. So I like veganism over Nazism.
Why?
There.
Why do you like?
Same reason I like. We'll say the same reason I like vanilla.
Can we measure it?
Can you measure my preference for vanilla ice cream over chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he does. You can. We measured it by asking him.
We can measure it with there's plenty of ways to measure it. But
you can't measure my preference for veganism over chocolate.
No, we can measure it. I mean, like
okay, well then in that case that they're equal then. So I can value veganism over Nazism.
The question is,
let's go.
Yeah, you already said they're both measurable, so like that's not gonna be a difference between the two, and you already accepted that I can value vanilla over chocolate. So you seem a little bit trapped here.
The question is,
Emotivism for the win.
the question is, what exactly are you valuing in veganism? Like, what do you mean by veganism?
Do you have a proposition that you that you
What
think
do
I
you?
disagree with?
Yeah, I'm asking. What do
Do you
you
have an
mean?
argument to make?
I'm asking a
Like you're not just
question.
gonna ramble questions at me without any like relevance.
I'm going to mute you if you don't answer my question. So, what do you value in veganism?
Hello, Lime.
So he's not going to answer?
Yeah, I don't see if I don't see the relevance of something, I'm not gonna answer it.
Congratulations. Okay.
Mm.
That's a vegan for you. So doesn't want to answer questions. Goodbye, Onyx.
What was your issue with his answer?
He didn't answer. I
It's
asked him. I wanted to have a conversation. I had like a
you know what
9.
emotivism is?
What?
Do you know the moral system, emotivism?
Emotivism?
Yeah.
No. What is that?
Kind of what he's describing, like if you value, like if you emotively, like if you feel some emotion towards something, that's what you mean when you say that, like something is a good thing. So
Yeah.
if I say like
Yeah.
killing people is bad, the
I was-
reason is because I feel like I have some sort of emotion towards that.
That's exactly where I was leading the conversation. I was helping him. I'm still manning him. He doesn't want to have.
I mean, it sounded like it was clear to me that it was he was saying maybe he thought it was obvious as well, so that's why he thought it was relevant to answer. Maybe you could ask him.
I had a 9-hour conversation with him today. He, in general, doesn't answer questions and he doesn't let me talk. Like he's a vegan. He's like a real cultist. So he's basically, it's a waste of time for me to talk to him.
Okay, so
I
the idea that you're just saying is that why would we want to use systems which are arbitrary? There you go.
No, I was actually I was going along. I'm trying to steelman his position. I'm saying, oh, fantastic. So maybe we can measure your appreciation for veganism. So what exactly is veganism? So he's refusing to answer the question. So so we can't have a conversation. The problem with vegans is that it's basically impossible to talk to them.
But this isn't really like an issue of like veganism. It's just like questioning people on like why we use systems in general.
In general, it's not as difficult to talk to people as vegans. Vegans are the most difficult, I think, by far to talk to. I don't think anyone is more difficult than vegans. They're impossible to communicate with. They run away from debates. When they debate you, they use every logical fallacy available. They don't let you talk. They silence you. They make fun of you. They attack you. They make sound bites out of talking to you. They're just the worst. Everyone hates vegans. Like everyone hates vegans. So yeah.
So
I
what
mean,
is
Mhm.
what is like the answer you're trying to come to here? With
I
your
was hoping
fundamental.
to have a conversation with him, but I gave up. Like he's impossible.
Okay, so
So I was hoping, like, you could it really depends on how he feels. What is veganism? Is his veganism something like something like vanilla ice cream? So what does he see veganism as? So he would say veganism is giving animals human rights. That's
Sure.
his definition of
And if it
veganism.
was that and he values it, then great.
What do you mean values what? What are you valuing? What does it mean? What does it mean to give an animal human rights?
What you're asking like two questions here. Which one do
I
you
mean,
want to know?
the
Like
reason
what is value or what is like the
no,
vegan
do
position?
you like no one values human rights. Right? The reason we have human rights is because people don't
When you
give
say no one values human rights, what do you mean by value here?
no one gives humans rights. The only right, that's why we have laws, international laws, right? That's why we executed people who denied human rights. If you deny human rights, we execute you. That's why people
Yeah.
appreciate human rights, meaning people don't appreciate human rights. People give
So we
human
have human rights
at
because
gunpoint.
it's like some system that we found to be useful.
We
So maybe like you're saying here, we kill people because maybe they disagreed and our views are so like far like disaligned that we just didn't see the value in having like their input, I guess.
we give humans rights at gunpoint. No one wants to give humans rights. People give humans rights only at gunpoint.
Okay, so what's the
So no one
what's the point?
values human rights. So when he says I want to give animal human rights, that's as valueless as giving humans rights. Why would you want to give anyone rights, right? You care for yourself, right? Just like you appreciate vanilla ice cream, you don't appreciate me eating vanilla ice cream. You don't enjoy me eating vanilla. You enjoy you eating vanilla ice cream. So you can't say that you enjoy me having human rights or an animal having human rights. There's no pleasure comes to you because human rights are only given at gunpoint or are forced. We're only
Okay, wait. So
forced.
what is the point you're making here? I'm a little bit
But
lost. It just sounds like
no one appreciates giving humans rights. Therefore, no one appreciates giving animals humans rights. So it's not like vanilla. You cannot appreciate veganism like you appreciate vanilla.
Okay, so when I say I value giving people human rights,
you're lying.
Where's the disconnect here?
Can we measure it?
I mean, you can ask, and yeah, I'd say that's a measurement.
Well, the fact is, humans, like people, don't give humans rights. That's why we have laws that force you to give humans rights at gunpoint.
Some humans.
Hello.
Right. Hi. No one. Right. There's no laws against or for vanilla ice cream. No. Right.
Can you please change your room title name?
Why?
Because we don't promote Nazism or
Who's
any
we?
talk about that. The server.
Okay.
Oh shit, he about to get banned.
I'm not going to ban him. I'm coming in here kindly to ask him to change the name. That's it. Nobody needs to be banned.
Yeah, it's pretty much just saying like, why do
What
we?
can I say? NA star.
No, just don't put that. Don't put it at all.
Ism. NA star ism is okay.
No.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
No, just I don't know why this. Just change it, right? Veganism equals whatever communism, whatever you want it to say, but we just don't promote any kind of aspects of that word in here.
Okay. I'll for now. I'll just put XXX. Veganism equals XXX for now.
Sure. And then when people come in, if you want to state that verbally, that's fine, but that works. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
are you just like, what is the point you're trying to get at here?
So someone someone reported this room, probably Onyx.
No, they can just like look down the side, and see the thing
No.
that so,
That was hilarious.
yeah. So what is the argument here?
My argument is that I'm wondering if, like, I care for animals. It's not like, but veganism is not even. It's not even about caring for animals. It's about giving animals rights. It's about human rights to animals.
It's not about human rights to animals, no.
Well, it depends on
Human rights are different than animal rights. I think humans deserve more rights than animals, but I still am vegan because I believe that they should be given some moral value.
Yeah,
more moral value than what we eat them.
I don't
or
think that's
than
what this
to
guy's
eat
trying
them.
to get at. Like, I'm kind of confused. Like, the whole point is, it sounds like what he's been asking is like, why do we use systems based on axioms, which, like, axioms by definition are unproven or unjustified? And that seems to be his whole point at the moment. But I'm
no.
unsure if
Every
that's what he's
system.
asking.
Every system is based on axioms. You cannot escape that. So every system at the end is axiomatic.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, can you argue, right?
Are you asking if you can justify axioms?
No, by definition, you cannot justify axioms.
Yeah, so what are you asking?
I'm asking, can you say that you actually have that you value veganism? Like
What
you
do you mean by
value vanilla ice cream? Do you,
How do
or
you
is
value?
it, or
What
is
do you
it,
mean by value? Like, what's the definition of value here? Because
like, can
we're
we
a bit
measure,
confused.
can we scientifically measure your you value, right? Just like we can value scientifically, we can measure the fact that you value vanilla over chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, and how can you value if someone prefers vanilla over chocolate ice cream
Well, we
accurately,
can,
or a way that you'd agree to it?
we can measure it scientifically. There's ways to measure
And
your brain.
which way do you accept, like, as being like that's an all right measurement?
Any scientific way, like brain activity and stuff, and your taste buds. Like, there's ways to measure your reaction to vanilla versus chocolate. The question is, can we get the same reaction from veganism? Like, do you have that reaction to veganism? Excuse me?
Yeah.
No, because I think veganism is a philosophy, not just the matter of liking and ice cream. It's not, you can't equate it to that, I would think. That would be my intuition.
Well, so so let's start from the end. If you cannot scientifically measure veganism nor Nazism, then they are identical. Then there is no difference. Then you cannot claim that you have a preference for one or the other. If we cannot,
Can you value any worldview then? What?
If we cannot measure your reaction to one over the other, then you don't have a preference.
And that's true. I never knew that shit.
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we cannot measure,
Never knew that shit in my body.
Okay.
Well, no.
I'm not. It's just
You can.
my opinion.
There's other things you can measure, like what veganism would be. Like, you can. Some philosophies are better than others, just by like the fruits of like what they bear.
But how do you? But
the
your
morality of
measurement
them as well.
But you value the fruits.
Yeah, that's the real nice booty shit.
And then,
well, yeah, every worldview has like fruits that they want it to bear, or how they want to see the world. So like Nazism has a certain way it wants to see the world. So does veganism. So I guess they're the same in that they're a philosophy, but they're not morally equal whatsoever.
Are you guys debating veganism?
Yeah, veganism versus Nazism.
Yeah, do you think like pacifism is the same as Nazism?
I think all moral systems are identical, and like at the end of the day, Like,
Are you just a moral subjectivist? Like,
I'm
is
not
that all you're
even
trying to
I'm
get at?
not even a moral subjectivist. I don't think anyone actually values moral systems. The fact that people
And
say they value doesn't mean anything. It's
wait,
So are you a non-cognitivist or
a non what?
a moral non-cognitivist? So like an
Moral.
emotivist, for example. Like you don't think
So many terms.
you don't think moral utterances make like truth claims or represent what people actually believe. They're just like emotional reaction, or there's different
I mean,
forms
yeah,
of
what they
it,
believe,
but-
but
Well, the fact that people say something doesn't mean anything, basically. The fact that
what
somebody
about their
says
intentions?
what?
What about their intentions? Maybe you can't. Maybe you're saying that you can't trust what someone says, but
It's very
as
difficult.
that person, they could. They do have like some intention behind what they're saying, right?
It's very difficult to tell.
Okay, well, maybe you can't tell, but if I say, I think veganism is good, and I have some thought behind it, do you agree that there is some like something there which you would say I value, even if you can't interpret that?
Like it's difficult. We would have to talk about it. That's like somebody saying, I believe in God. All right, let's talk
Yeah, I
about
mean,
it. Let's
it's
talk
not even
about
what
it.
I'm getting at, because it sounds like what you were saying earlier, that you need some sort of scientific method to actually determine if someone, like, to measure if someone does value something.
Right.
And you're saying now that you can't trust what people say, pretty much. So I'm
Right.
saying that, do you agree that there is something, like, there is value I do have some towards like some, I don't know, moral system, but it's just impossible for you to determine my true intentions, like just by me saying what I believe.
Right. So the fact that
Okay.
you say I can hear what you're saying, but people lie to themselves, people say things, for multitudes of reasons.
But you agree that they have beliefs.
I don't know.
Do you believe that there are other people other than yourself that exist?
Yes. That
Okay,
I have evidence, yeah. There
yeah,
is evidence. There seems to be evidence that other people exist, yes.
yeah, so, and you assume that they're like you. So,
Yeah.
when you say that, I don't know, do you dislike murder? Like, that was a question. Like, do you dislike murder? Yes or no?
I mean, if it's someone that
Unjustified killing.
well, if it's someone that really, sometimes you hate someone so
Unjustified.
much. Well, sometimes you hate someone so much that you want to kill them, right? Humans are known to kill other humans just because they hate them so much. Like an outsider would say that's unjustified, but like at the
Yeah, but
moment,
you yourself, like, if I say, I don't know, do you like if I smashed a baby's head in with a sledgehammer? Like, yes or no, do you like if I smashed a baby's head in with a sledgehammer?
I mean, without without any further information, then of course not.
Okay,
what
so
other information could there be?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter what other information. What I'm getting at here is that you have some value. So you say without any other information, yeah, I do have a value towards that action, and you agree that there are other people like you. So like we can assume that other people also have value to like these things which we will call like moral actions, right?
I don't know if I would call it moral. Like,
Okay.
why do you insert morality into the discussion?
Because that's what we're talking about.
Would you say that my preference for vanilla is moral?
Wait, no, the preference that you had over the baby's head not being smashed in was a moral preference.
How is it different than the preference for vanilla over chocolate?
Let's say it's not. You still have some value, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And we all have some value to different things. Like you have some value to veganism, right?
I mean, that's already that's already complicated. I mean, murder and smashing, heads. That's like I can imagine it. When you say veganism, that's like so removed. That's like giving
Okay.
animals human rights. Like I
So
don't even know.
it's very complex, but do you imagine, like, if you had enough time to think about it, you would get to some sort of conclusion and all the information that you need?
I don't know. It's far removed. There's so many steps to understand what. Like I cannot imagine a case of what veganism entails. Like smashing a head is you can immediately imagine it, but I'm trying
Okay,
to
imagine if you just
imagine.
said like you're omniscient, so you know everything, and
I'm
you know
trying to
your
imagine. I'm trying like if we would try to imagine a case of veganism, then maybe. But like giving, like if I would not give animals human rights, but we only give right, the whole notion of human rights, like I don't give humans rights. I'm forced at gunpoint to give we're forced at gunpoint to give human rights.
sure.
So that means no one really wants to give humans rights.
Um, okay, so like when you said that you found it bad that I was smashing a baby's head in with a sledgehammer, to enforce that like behavior or like value you have towards that action, we just call that a right, correct?
One
Like we say,
second. Peel po poo, you are hot miking.
yeah. So like we say that. No, I just draw something. Yeah. So that action, because you dislike it, you're going to put some sort of thing that you call a right for that baby, like the right to bodily integrity, I guess,
1
or
second.
the right to life.
1 second. So, Onyx, I'm gonna unmute you, but if you misbehave, I'll mute you again. Like if you start hogging the mic, then it's I'll mute you. You can be part of the
Alright, but
you can be part of the conversation, but like
okay.
be like normal. Don't like don't shut me up all the time. You had 9 hours
I
of
got a
that
question
today.
though.
I'm having a
So like,
conversation. You can listen for now. Yes, go on.
so like any interruptions at all, or like
We had 9 hours today that you endlessly didn't let me say a word. So let me have a normal conversation. I'm trying to figure things out. With you, it's impossible. So let me try and figure things out with other people. Yes, I think I was talking to Elif Therois.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
listening.
it's a little bit difficult to like come to anything at the moment, just because I don't really have an argument to work off of like what you really want to get to here. But
No,
it sounds
you're
like you
going.
do agree that you have
No,
values to different
you're doing.
actions.
Hold on, you're doing very well. I mean, you're doing a good analysis. I'm listening. You're
Yeah,
making
I'm just
very
trying
good
to.
arguments.
I'm trying to get at like what you're trying to like question here. Like, I'm not sure if you're questioning like why do we have moral systems, or if you're questioning why should we value veganism.
No, the question is, can like if given that let's say given that veganism and Nazism are moral systems, can we value one more than the other?
Okay. What about if instead of saying we value, because it sounds like from what I got here, you believe that moral systems are just like expressions of emotion. Um, do you think that you yourself can value
No.
veganism over Nazism?
I mean, I mean to value something is right. It's got to be emotional, right? What else does it mean to value? Otherwise, it's arbitrary. Otherwise, they are identical.
Yeah, I'm saying that's true. That is what we mean by value here.
Look, Nazis hate, Nazis love holocausting people. They really love it. Like when you
Mhm.
speak to Nazis, they love it so much. I happen to not be a Nazi, but when you speak to Nazis, they love Holocausting. They can't stop talking about it. It's like, okay, that's Nazis. Vegans, let's say they love animals. Let's assume, for all intents and purposes, that they love animals. But okay, so if you measure the love of Nazis for the Holocaust with a, like with some fMRI or some machine, you'd get probably similar results to how vegans love animals, let's say. So can
Yeah, I
we
don't
say
disagree.
what?
I don't disagree. Yeah.
Right. So they both, right? Nazis love Nazism, vegans love veganism. Let's assume, okay, then can we say that one is better than the other in any meaningful way?
Well, I
If
don't
all
think
you mean
so.
by better is that like when you test the fMRI machine and they have a certain amount of whatever pleasure scanner points that you get on the fMRI machine, then no vegan is going to disagree with you that those numbers might be the same. If that's what you mean by better. But generally, when we say like this system is better than another one, that's not what we mean when we say better. That's not what we mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
like
also
when
push
I
back on the idea that vegans are vegans just because they love animals.
I'm assuming.
I'm not a
Let's
vegan just because I love animals. I'm a
let's
vegan because I'm logically convinced by the fact that we have to extend moral value to animals and not just non-human animals, or not just
but
humans, but non-human
I'm
animals as well.
I'm giving vegans the benefit of the doubt, and I'm saying let's assume that vegans love animals as much as Nazis love the Holocaust. Let's assume that there's an emotional effect that we can measure under an fMRI or whatever.
Yeah,
So
parts of it are emotional. Yeah,
no,
I
but
would
let's
agree.
assume so. That is what it means to value. Otherwise, if you don't if a vegan doesn't value, if we cannot measure a vegan's valuing his veganism, then it's meaningless. Then he doesn't value. If we cannot measure it, then as far as we can tell, he doesn't value veganism.
That makes, I don't see how that follows.
If we cannot measure that a vegan values veganism, then as far as we can
Why do
tell,
you have to measure it?
because it's meaningless. That he says that he values something is meaningless. Anyone can say anything for any reason. I need
We can see that they value the worldview because they are vegan and they're not eating meat, right? They're adhering to the worldview.
we don't know
So that
we don't know why they're doing what they're doing. We don't know what's their motivation. Like I want to
Well,
measure
sure.
I want to measure it in an fMRI and see. I want to like you can see in an fMRI, let's say, that a Nazi loves the Holocaust. You talk about the Holocaust, his eyes roll to the back of his head. He loves it so much. So I want to see the vegan react the same way. Let's assume he does. Then you can say that, well, what can you say? Then you'd have to say veganism is what? It's still not better. You cannot, right? We still cannot distinguish between veganism and Nazism. Now, if we cannot get a reaction from a vegan, then he's not really a vegan. He's just saying that he's a vegan. He doesn't appreciate veganism. So we need it to be measurable. But
I
if
don't think you have to have any worldview to be measurable for it to be a legit worldview. I don't see how that follows.
No, we're trying to ask: is veganism, does it have a moral high ground? Can you say that veganism has a moral high ground over Nazism?
Yes.
In some people's worldviews, yes, but in others, it may not. But to most people's, it would be on a higher moral, like, high ground.
No, but I don't care about people. I mean, I need to be convinced, right? We're having, right? We're trying to convince me. Right? We're each trying to we're trying to become convinced.
Okay,
Is
this
it
is up to
true?
your moral worldview then. If you believe in like objective morality, where Nazism is worse than veganism, then you would be convinced by that. But if you're like a
No,
moral subjectivist
I'm
and you think it's
neither.
up to like the individual moral agent to decide these things, then it would be relative.
I'm neither. I'm neither a moral subjectivist nor a moral objectivist. I don't have. I'm
Okay.
amoral. I don't believe in morality.
He sounds very like he's an emotivist.
I'm an
Yeah,
egoist.
you sound like an emotivist.
I'm an egoist. I believe people are just egoistic. People just.
Do you think that moral claims have truth value?
That moral claims have what value?
Like if I say I think murder is wrong, do you think that can be like
Murder by definition.
evaluated as yes or no?
Murder by definition is wrong. It's like the definition of murder is like wrongful killing.
Okay, switch up murder for hitting cats.
Hating
Do you think?
cats?
Yeah, when I say I think hitting cats is wrong, do you think that like you can say like you can evaluate that as like
No.
a true or false thing?
No.
Okay, so when I say like
You either
I don't like hitting cats,
you either
do you see that as
you either hate cats or you love cats or you're indifferent, like, or you're on a spectrum in your I love cats. So
Okay, what
that's
about
me.
hitting cats? Let's go with like doing
In-
harm to cats.
In general, I'm against hitting cats in general, but if it's a big cat and it's dangerous, then I'm pro killing. I'm pro extermination of big cats. But
Okay.
that's just, that's my I just don't want to be killed, and I don't want my fellow humans to be killed by big cats. They're too dangerous.
Yes, that's fair.
Didn't you just agree that moral propositions don't have truth value?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not even sure what you're saying. If you
Yeah, I'm
think
kinda
that moral
confused.
propositions don't have truth value, and you also think that we shouldn't do a certain action,
I'm not
do you think that
following.
proposition is false?
What's the question?
Do you
you agree
believe
that
moral
moral-
claims? Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Do you think that moral claims have truth value?
I don't believe that there is morality, and I don't believe that there is truth. So,
So
like
when you say that we should not hit cats, what do you mean?
I'm
Like,
an
I don't even know what you're saying.
I'm an egoist. I care for myself, and by extension, I care for my fellow humans. I don't want to be eaten by a big cat. I don't want my fellow humans to be eaten by big cats.
Yeah, but why would you be not okay with hitting like a small cat, like a house cat that's not posing a threat to you? Why is that not okay to you?
That's just.
You said you would be opposed to that.
I love cats, just like I love vanilla ice cream. That's you can measure it in an fMRI machine how much I love cats.
Okay, so if you hit a cat, it would be wrong for you because you would like be.
I wouldn't say
hurt,
wrong.
or you would like cringe at
That's like saying
hurting that
that's
cat,
like
right?
that's like saying if you took a vanilla ice cream and you threw it on the floor, it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's just wasteful. Like save it so you can eat it. Don't
Yeah,
waste
so
it.
hitting like a house cat would be wasteful, or
No, it would be painful for me to know about, to observe.
okay, and it's because you have some level of like care for that cat, right?
Yeah, I love cats. Yeah. Who doesn't?
Okay, so you're extending, so that's not out of like some moral value that you extend to that cat.
Correct. I don't believe in. I'm an amoral egoist. I don't believe in morality, and I'm just an egoist.
Okay, well then, how do we? I don't.
So just for clarity, it's not the case that it's wrong to blow up the planet.
Correct. There's no such thing right and wrong. It's like it's like I enjoy life. I don't want to die.
Okay, then what you're saying about veganism being equal to Nazism makes sense, and the fact that you don't believe in morals, so therefore no moral worldview can be better than the other. They're all just like preference.
It's not even a critique against veganism specifically. It's just
it's a critique.
Literally all morality because you don't believe in any of them.
Yeah, it's just a critique of moral frameworks.
But I would even say they're not even there's not even preference unless you can show me in an scientifically that someone has a preference, like a Nazi has a preference for the Holocaust. If you show, like when you talk to them, you can see how much they love it. Fine. When you talk to vegans, I don't see that they love animals. Sometimes you see, but like I love animals much more than most vegans.
Have you seen an fMRI machine on a Nazi?
On a what?
And have you seen an fMRI machine, the brain machine on a Nazi?
No, I haven't seen it.
Have you seen this? There's no reason for you to believe the Nazi. There's an equivalent no reason for you to believe the vegan. Or actually, like, what reason do I have to believe you that anything that you're saying is true? But that by applying your logic, like these extraordinarily high standards.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
and
no.
wait, you said you're skeptical of preferences when your worldview is predicated on preferences. Like an amoral egoist literally
No,
just
no.
believes that everything is a preference.
No, one question at a time. No, I'm saying it would be nice to measure. Like, of course, the more we measure, the better. But you can tell when you're talking to someone how much he loves, like how much he loves a chick or a system or something. Like you can tell when you talk to a Nazi how much they hate, certain people, and you can tell when you talk to animal lovers how much they love animals.
Okay, is there like a certain number or like percentage of animal love you have to be a vegan?
No, I don't think vegans have love for animals. I don't think it has anything to do with.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure some vegans don't love animals, but veganism isn't a worldview that requires a love of animals.
Right.
You can not like animals very much and be a vegan.
Right. So
it's a moral worldview, not a
no,
preference.
no, then it's nothing. Then you have reduced it.
Well, yeah, you don't believe in moral worldviews.
Exactly. That's the problem.
So okay, it's a
in that
preference
case,
not to eat animals then.
In that case, veganism evaporates. So if a vegan,
Well, every worldview evaporates under your worldview.
No,
every moral framework evaporates under your worldview.
No.
So to say veganism evaporates means nothing.
No. You can, right? A Nazi hates, right? A Nazi hates Jews, right?
So do they have to have? Do you have to?
Sorry,
Do they have to hate a certain
difference
number of
between
Jews?
veganism and any other worldview that makes veganism and Nazism meaningless and not every other worldview?
No, the question is, do vegans actually have a value? Is it a value system or is it nothing?
You see how I just asked him a direct question? He said, no, the question actually is.
Yeah, wait. You don't believe in values.
No, I do believe. What do you mean I don't believe in values? Like if
Yeah, your value is all just personal preference.
Oh my god, that's still value, bro. What the hell?
No, but he's saying like.
What do you
he's
mean?
saying veganism equals Nazism because like all value systems are like equal. All of them are meaningless. He doesn't believe in.
No.
Is this like some tag? Is this some tag shit, or it's like morals are meaningless without God? Is that the idea?
Okay, so you do believe You do believe in morality?
No, I don't believe in morality. I'm saying like if a Nazi, right, a Nazi values Nazism. He really values the Holocaust. Right? It's measurable.
That's not all of what Nazism though. You can not like the Holocaust and be a Nazi.
Okay, whatever is measurable disappears. It doesn't exist.
Wait, why? So you're making these arbitrary categories that have to be measured. That makes
the opposite. I'm just the
no.
opposite.
You're making
just the
You're
opposite.
saying vegans have to love animals to be a vegan,
if it's
and
not
Nazis have to love the Holocaust.
Yes, if it's not measurable, then it goes away. It's got to be measurable. The fact that somebody says something is meaningless. That doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning. It has no value.
I think bro just found skepticism.
Does that also apply to the sentence that you just said?
Yeah, I can't measure your value of love for cats, so therefore your love of cats is meaningless.
But we can measure it. We can.
No,
we
you
can,
can't. You can't measure a love of cats.
We can, let's say, plug me into an fMRI and see it.
No, you literally can't. There's no way you would be able to tell how much a person loves cats based off of a
Okay,
brain
then
scan.
then it goes away. But I believe.
Okay, so
But I believe it's possible to measure it.
it's not possible to measure it.
Okay, then it goes away. Fine. Then it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so
then no one
preference.
That according to you,
I'm trying to figure out: is this a critique against veganism specifically, or
not.
all?
It's
moral
not.
beliefs?
It's not a critique. I'm thinking. I'm not criticizing. I'm just thinking. I'm
They are not
analyzing.
mutually exclusive, buddy.
What?
Yeah, I believe there's a reason you chose veganism because it's like a radical opposite of like a worldview like
Vegans-
Nazism.
Right. Vegans claim to have a moral high ground, and I'm trying to think through.
No, they don't.
Well,
I do actually. I do think I'm better than Nazis.
Okay, yes, compared to Nazis, yes, but compared to like the average person, I don't think.
No,
I
I
have
actually do think that too. Yeah.
Well, I think everybody does based on their worldviews. So, like, yeah.
Well, yes,
Anybody,
I'm also a subjectivist, but I believe by my own moral
Well, yeah.
system, I think I'm better at adhering to my own
Yeah,
moral
you
system than
can-
other people.
Yeah,
You
but
can
that's how
think
most
your-
people
you can
think,
that your
right?
moral, you can think that your moral system is like a consistent one and show that it's consistent. That's how you debate them.
I also think, but everybody who has a moral system probably thinks that their moral system is better, which is why they believe in it. If they thought there was a better moral system, they would believe in that one. So
I don't know.
to say that,
I think veganism's good, but I'm not a vegan. Like,
yeah, well, to say that vegans believe that they have the moral high ground is like saying that Christians think they have the moral high ground. Of course they do. Like that's why they believe in that moral framework.
Do you think you have the logical high ground, Mr. Sleek?
Yeah, I think I have the logical high ground, sure. But I'm thinking about moral high ground. Like, do Christians believe they have the moral high ground? I don't,
100%.
I don't think so. Like when I debate Christians, very quickly they shut me up. It's the same as vegans.
good line.
When I debate vegans, it's the same reactions as Christians. They don't let you
Yo,
talk.
what's good line?
Excuse me?
Good line.
What?
Oh, Harry.
Why don't you think they have the moral high ground?
When I
Or that, why don't
debate-
you think they think they?
Because when I debate, when you debate someone who believes something, he shouldn't shut you up all the time. Right? He should think with you, not against you. He shouldn't be making fun of
Yo,
you.
what are you? Are you Christian or no? You're
Vegans
atheist?
are mean, and that's why they think they have the moral high ground, and Christians are nice, and so they don't think they have the moral high
No,
ground.
both.
This
like,
is true.
stupid.
This
What?
is true. This is so true.
Like if you debate
True.
someone and they're mean and they don't answer questions and they
That doesn't
evade
mean they.
and they use logical fallacies, they know they're wrong. They know they're lying.
You know they're wrong, or they just apply the logic.
Wait, what if they know they're right and they're just being bad faith?
Yeah,
Why would you?
asshole people.
Why would you be? What do you mean bad faith? It's not even bad faith. It's like they're mean spirited.
You
Why
know a
would
lot
you
about
be?
that.
Why would you be
Mean-spirited
mean?
is bad faith, bro.
Right. Why would you be bad? Why
Well,
would
if
you
it's bad faith,
like if you
because they're
really
mean, bro.
if you really believed you have the moral high ground, you would convince me of that. Like quietly, like
Well-
right? Listen to the way I
What is that
talk. Right? I'm always very nice, cordial. I'm always listening and
Very demure.
right.
I mean, not always. Sometimes people want to learn, so they don't want to teach. They just
But
want to learn. You know.
I actually really liked it when we weren't nice to the Nazis in World War II.
You should be nice to everybody.
Exactly.
Because that's how you know if you're blind to yourself or not. Like what?
Exactly.
It's such a stupid parameter for.
Only nice to Nazis, bro. They're dead.
Well, now they're back.
Really?
Yeah.
Nazis have always been around. What?
Oh damn.
For
I
some
thought they
reason,
died.
people just keep coming to the conclusion that it's the Jews' fault. Anything bad happens. I don't know what the fuck they did.
Anyway, you see that you have to defeat the Nazis again and again. So at the end, you have to talk to them. You can't just kill them. You have to.
No, you can just kill
Well,
them.
I mean, it seemed to be pretty effective.
But you see that
Yeah,
they're
World War
back.
II was pretty good.
No, you see. Well, I mean, like in an
Yeah, but they're
emergency. Look, when they're trying to kill you, you have no choice. You kill them. But ultimately, you have to talk to them, and you have to understand
sure,
them,
but
and explain to them why you think they're wrong. So
okay.
if
Nah, I'd win.
vegans really believed in their veganism, they would debate. Like vegans don't
Yeah, this is.
debate.
I am
Vegans
literally
don't
willing to
debate.
debate you on veganism. Like you're
Are
just
you?
have bad experience with like stupid vegans online.
But that's like
No.
it's almost.
To give you some context, what's actually happened is there are some specific vegans that are like no basic propositional logic, and they refuse to debate Mr. Slave until he just lays out an argument, and he just won't do it. He won't go through the work of learning propositional logic. That's what
This is
happens.
probably true too. Yeah, also we can get nowhere pretty much with the way you view morals. Like you're basically saying veganism means nothing. So yeah, people aren't going to
No,
be able to debate you on veganism because you have no like moral framework to start from.
I mean,
Our axioms are different, you could say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open-minded. Like you're welcome to
I mean,
present your
I don't know what
argument.
I can say to you if you think that it's just okay for the world to just explode. Like you don't have any moral preference either way.
No, I
I don't
told
know
you
what to
my
say to you.
preference. I said I prefer for the world not to explode.
Do you think it's wrong for the world to explode?
I told you what I think about the word right and wrong. I usually don't use these words. I personally prefer to live. So I don't want the world to explode.
Do you prefer for animals to live, like
What?
like factory farmed
Can you get close to
animals
the
to live?
mic?
Do you prefer factory farmed animals to live?
I don't have a personal preference. I don't have a personal preference either way. In order for me to have a preference, it needs to impact me somehow. I need to somehow interact with it.
Do you have a preference for like children across the world to live or die?
If I don't interact, then I don't see how I can have a preference. Like a preference is
So,
like
like there's a starving child in Africa. He's a baby. He needs some food. Do you
Mhm.
prefer for him to get food or not get food?
My preference
Or
is
no preference at all?
no. I mean, in general, my preference is for there to be no suffering in this universe. That's my
Okay.
if
Do you prefer less suffering over more suffering?
I prefer less over more. Yes.
Okay. So when you buy uh, animal products, you cause more suffering.
Hello.
So like, why are
Yes.
you not living in line with your preferences?
We had a discussion about this for a few hours today, so I'll explain it to you again. So I don't only look at suffering, I also look at joy. And I don't only try to minimize suffering, I also try to maximize joy. So
Okay.
I actually try to optimize my life and the lives of everyone around me. So if I have a pet cat, I realize that it's not going to have a perfectly joyous life. There's going to be just a little bit of suffering here and there. I'm not going to prefer for it not to exist in order to minimize its suffering, but rather I prefer for it to live, even though there's going to be some suffering, because ultimately there's going to be hopefully more joy than suffering. The same goes for me and for everyone around me.
Okay. So if someone were to take your cat and then like slit its throat and then put it into a gas chamber, do stuff like that, like would you prefer that situation or not prefer it?
Well, all else remaining the same, my preference is of course not.
What if they gave you a hamburger made out of the cat, like after, and it tastes really good?
No, I don't like cat hamburgers.
No, but like say you did like it tasted good.
The
I'd
best
eat it.
tasting.
I mean, if it, well, I don't know what it means. Like, if it's a, if it were, even if it were a chicken, and I had a personal relationship with this chicken, I would have a hard time eating a patty burger from the chicken.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not
say you didn't have a relationship with the cat.
right. That's like a normal. Like I eat meat. I don't have a personal relationship. But if
Okay.
I'm
So, like,
assuming,
say there was a starving child in Africa who they turned into a hamburger, who you don't have a relationship with, and that it tasted really good,
Mhm.
would you deem it okay to buy this hamburger?
I would, man.
I no, I like we had a 9-hour conversation about this today. So I gave you the answer to these questions many,
Is the
many
answer yes?
times.
No?
You know, after 9 hours, you're asking the same question.
I don't
I
believe I
would.
got an answer to this
I
question.
would, Onyx. I'm gonna answer it. I would.
Well, somebody gave you the
Yes?
answer.
You would, but like that's only specific to you
Was the
though.
answer yes? No?
The answer is yes. Objectively, me.
That's specific to
Anyway,
you though, my boy, my
So
baby boy.
they would purchase a hamburger.
anyway,
Onyx, your point never was made.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway,
So
if
Anyway.
human meat tasted so great, everyone would try to be cannibal. That's my belief.
wait for real?
no,
I think so.
Damn, bro, that's crazy.
But you know, that's the
Damn, bro,
thing,
you
right?
would.
It tastes just
That's the
normal. It tastes like any other meat.
Damn, you be tasting meat.
I don't know. Like I just took the word from a scientist because he said it tasted like pork.
No, I'm saying you be tasting meat.
No, 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 no. Oh hell no, man.
Damn, bro, you don't taste meat.
No, man.
Damn, bro, you vegan? Yeah.
What
You're not gonna
the
be-
hell? I wouldn't want to
I
be
did.
vegan. What?
I did not know bro was vegan.
Oh
should be vegan.
hell. Luke, you're vegan?
I'm vegan. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, let's debate.
wait, who's a vegan?
About what?
Oh, Luke, you're a vegan.
Luke.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And you come to servers? You're not afraid to face the world?
No, I'm a proud vegan.
Is
Willing
that
to talk about it.
is that your picture? Is that your profile picture?
I mean, yeah, it's me.
That's crazy, man.
No way.
Ain't no way.
That's
Guess
legit.
what?
No, are you like an MMA fighter?
No, I just bodybuild and run and used to play football.
Why do you do that?
What I do that? What?
Yeah, do you take steroids?
No,
Why not?
because I want to live long.
Oh
like my
hell
organs.
no, man.
I love my functioning organs.
Okay. Anyway.
Wait, why are you a vegan?
I'm convinced that we should extend moral value to animals that outweighs our taste, and I don't think we should kill animals unless we necessarily have to.
Okay,
My morals. Morals said it's not good. Don't do
I
it.
believe the same, but like I don't kill animals unnecessarily. I only kill them when I want to eat them. So we're the
Well, you
same.
don't necessarily have to.
I don't have to necessarily live. So as long as I live,
You can
Mhm.
you can live with a plant-based diet, and you don't have to eat animals to live.
I can live, I can live in a homeless shelter. I can live as a homeless. I can live without legs. I can give away many of my organs. I can also not live. I can shorten my life and make room for other creatures. I can feed my body to alligators. I can do many things, but I want to optimize my personal joy out of this life. Right? So that means I'm not going to feed myself to alligators. So me and you,
I mean, I can demonstrate how that doesn't follow, but
you can demonstrate how that does not follow. What do you mean?
yeah, like you don't have to actively you're not morally required to sacrifice yourself.
Right.
The
So me
reason
and
why
you,
you eat animals.
right. So me and you are the same, right? You agree that I don't have to sacrifice. Fine. I'm not going to sacrifice.
But it's not your autonomy. You're not sacrificing like your life. You're not willing to sacrifice your taste buds for the slaughter of animals, for the suffering
Nothing
of
to do.
animals.
Okay. So it's nothing to do with the taste buds. We're not talking about taste buds. Not like I.
No, that's the only reason you eat meat.
No, it's not the
And
only
convenience.
Meat
Taste
doesn't
buds
taste
and
like anything,
convenience.
bro.
It's not like I don't.
You do it because it's more convenient to eat
I
meat
don't
than
eat.
a plant-based diet.
I don't eat meat because of the flavor. I eat meat because I don't have like I have to eat I have to eat meat. It's not
You
nothing to do
don't
with the.
have to eat meat.
Okay, it's not for the flavor. So stop saying that. Stop
So why
spreading.
is it?
I told you the reason. It's like
Luke, have you tasted meat?
nothing to
have.
do. I'm saying it's
Is it
nothing.
very flavorful?
I'm saying it's nothing to do with the
Some
flavor. I'm saying it's
meats.
nothing to do with the flavor. So stop. It's like when you debate vegan.
Then why do you eat meat?
Look. I don't. The reason I don't like vegans is that when you debate them, they spread disinformation as if
Bro.
non-vegans.
No, you're insane. I literally asked you why you eat meat.
What do you
Why do
mean?
you eat meat?
What do you want me to eat?
Plant-based foods.
Okay,
You don't
fine.
have to eat meat.
I don't have to live. What do you mean I don't have?
What?
I agree. I don't have to.
Wait, Luke, are you a vegan or a vegetarian?
Wait.
I'm a vegan.
Okay, let's let me talk to Luke. Yes, Luke, I'm listening.
Yeah, I said, why do you eat meat? Why do you have to eat meat?
I don't have to eat meat. I don't have to live. I eat meat to live. I want to live and I eat meat in order to live.
You don't need meat to live.
Okay, I don't need to live. I need meat to live. You saying I don't need meat to live?
Okay, if meat was the only thing you could eat, then sure, it would be morally justifiable to kill
then we don't
an animal.
disagree. Okay, I feel I don't have
Yeah,
a choice.
but because it's not necessary to kill animals to survive in developed countries, then it's not morally justified to kill those animals
I
to
don't.
survive.
What do you mean by morality?
Yeah, we're gonna run into this problem again because you don't have a moral framework. So
You can answer the question. What do you mean by
what do I mean?
moral?
What do I mean by morality? Like literally the definition of morality.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Because I reject the existence of morality.
Yeah, like values and principles of
What do you mean
conduct.
by fine? What do you mean by values?
I mean, I can just give you the definitions of all these words.
No, you can just tell me what you mean.
I mean,
What do you
by values? I mean, like a broad set of principles.
Right. Look.
Mr. Slave, can I make an argument to him real quick? It's a quick one.
No.
Okay, my bad. Carry on.
Finally, I meet a vegan that I can debate. It's like finding a vegan to debate is like finding diamonds. It's like basically
No,
impossible.
you can find a few of them.
Yeah, sure. I chase them around the internet. They're impossible. They always run away.
Go to the politics server and go to the vegan
You can't
channel.
create.
You
It's
find
impossible to create a room.
you don't have to create a room. You can go to the vegan
No, I don't want to
room
join.
and
No,
they'll
I
delete
don't want
you.
to. No, I don't want to join a big room. I want to join. I want to have like a one-on-one. I don't want to have like a many on many. That's use. That's a waste of time.
You can have a one-on-one in there, but sure.
I'll try. I'll give it a shot. So, like I stay away from those servers, like the big servers. I don't like big rooms. If I can find a small room, fine. Anyway, look. So the way I see it, like me and you were the same, right? I love animals. I'm sure you're the same. You
Yeah,
love
but you don't value them enough to inconvenience yourself to not eat them.
I love the way the animals taste in my mouth
no,
when they're melting.
no. Stop. That's not nothing to do with that. No, um, it's not that. I mean, I look you right. So let's assume when you kill the animal, it's instantaneous and painless. Do you then have an objection to eating animal products?
Yes.
Why?
What?
Because the animals have a moral value beyond the suffering they
What do you
experience.
mean by moral value? What do you really mean by that?
Yeah, right. So, do you think it would be wrong to sedate and so you sedate a pig, it's unconscious, and then rape it? Do you think that's wrong?
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah. So
It's
look,
a hypothetical. Is that wrong?
Look, I
Fuck the
don't
way you
use.
think, my guy.
Okay, stop. I don't use the word right and wrong. So I'm an
Okay.
amoral.
Would you be opposed? Would you be opposed to an animal being sedated and then it being raped
Let's
for your pleasure?
let's remove the raping animals.
No. Follow the hypothetical.
No,
through.
no. We're not gonna be raping
Why?
animals. We don't do that. We don't discuss these hypotheticals. There's certain hypotheticals that I don't indulge. So you're gonna have to
No, this would demonstrate my
moderate.
point.
I understand. We're gonna have to moderate the hypotheticals to like something.
Okay, yeah. So sedate a pig and then paralyze it and then let it wake up and be paralyzed. Do you think that's wrong? Or are you opposed to that?
Look,
Do you have a
again,
preference against that?
there's no right and wrong. So
Yeah, so do you have a
question is,
preference to not do that?
of course, my preference is for this universe to be like a perfect heaven for all creatures with no suffering. That's my
Okay, yeah. So you see these things as moral agents that deserve moral agency. And we should have moral considerations on not harming these things.
No, nothing to do with morality. This has to do with my personal preference. I don't
Your personal
want.
preferences are morality, despite what you believe, but that's a moral position. Your moral preference is for things not to suffer.
Mr. Slade, can I say something to him?
The same way, the same reason it would be most people would oppose killing a human, even if it's painless and instantaneous, is the same reason why I don't think we should kill animals instantaneously or painlessly. We should extend the same moral values to both these things.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can say.
Okay. Wait, so Luke, so what is your issue with these animals being killed?
Like literally what I just discussed.
So just because they hold a moral value?
Well, yeah, I'm opposed to suffering, like unnecessary suffering, and then also they have a moral value that outweighs convenience or like food preference or taste.
Okay, but look, your claim of moral value. What is that?
I was just going to get onto that. Where does it come from, and what is it, and where does it come from?
Titus al Asfor. Let me talk to him. I need to talk to him. So
Well,
Luke,
you literally said I can speak to him.
Yeah, let me talk to him. Like I really need this.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so my moral framework, I think a lot of morals do come from like emotional reactions to
Right.
things, but I do think there are objective like principles of
What do you mean by objective?
morality.
What do you mean by objective?
Objective, as in like.
So you believe in objective morality?
I think they're kind of yeah.
I mean, so what do you mean kind of?
Yeah, I think.
You believe
Yeah,
in
I think.
objective morality?
Yeah, I think the absence of suffering would be objectively good. So the closer we get to less suffering is objectively better than more suffering.
What does it mean objectively good? Well, what does that mean? Can I
Yeah,
measure? Can I measure somehow objective morality? Is there any way to detect it scientifically?
Maybe, yeah, less pain stimuli in somebody's brain. Like, I guess you can measure it that way.
That is subjective. Then you could say that's like
not subjective.
I mean, if it's in
How is the
somebody's
pain stimuli in somebody's brain, or like the amount of pain somebody's nervous system experiences? How is that subjective?
You're
It's
saying
a factual thing of how much pain they're experiencing. Like, it's technically immeasurable with our like technology now, but
so you're saying.
Can I say something?
No, please, Titus, let me talk to Luke. So Luke, you're saying that objective morality, I mean, what is objective morality? Right? Morality is like almost a legal system, right? It's like it's a preference system. It's a behavioral preference system. Like you shouldn't do things,
so
stuff. But how could it
yeah,
be
so like
how could that be objective? Objective
so
means
yeah, like a more
objective means
yeah
it's like even if there's no humans, it's still there. Like, so where is it?
yes
Where is
yeah
this?
a proposition, a moral proposition is objective if its truth value is independent of the person saying it.
Okay, but how can you measure it? Right, I'm looking to measure it scientifically.
You don't.
Then how can you
less
say
suffering.
that it's no? That's the suffering.
Less suffering is better.
Okay, so but if
I could somebody saying less suffering, it's better if animals don't suffer.
Yeah,
that's a moral proposition.
Yes,
but that's objectively better, despite whether I say it or not. Because those animals who experience it are experiencing that suffering, and it's better if they don't experience it. So it doesn't matter if I say it or not.
What do you mean by what do you mean
for things to suffer less?
Okay, what do you mean by better? What does that mean, right?
More like it's preferred more.
By whom, right? You need someone to prefer, otherwise I don't know what it
Well,
means.
by me, the person
Right.
uttering the moral proposition, and then also by the people experiencing suffering.
Hold
so
on.
literally every single
Hold on.
conscious being.
Okay, look, so it's not objective. If it's preferable by you, then it's subjective to you. So it's no longer
No, because it's preferable to all living things
Then
that
it's-
suffer, that they don't suffer.
Okay, but
And I mean, and if you're going to say it's subjective to the things that experience pain, sure. I don't think morality would exist without conscious moral agents. So there's no problem with that. But it's objective to all conscious agents.
okay, so again, define objective morality.
I already did. It's a moral proposition is true independent of the person who utters that moral sentence.
Okay.
So it's objectively true that less suffering is preferable to more suffering.
But you're saying it, right? It's just you saying it. You're just
Yeah.
asserting something.
And this is objectively true whether or not I say it or not.
What do you mean? It's just an assertion. You're asserting that it's objectively true.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
But to
it true.
anything that experiences suffering, they would prefer less suffering.
You're just asserting, right? That's the problem.
No, do you think conscious agents prefer less suffering or more suffering?
Even if I agree, that's me asserting what
Wait,
you
answer the
assert.
question.
I'm saying, even if I agree, yes, I agree. That doesn't
No,
help you. It doesn't help you because I'm still.
Why doesn't it help me?
Because it's still my subjective preference. So now both you and me
No, it's
have a
not
subjective.
subjective because I'm asking, do you think
Yes, it's still subjective.
conscious agents?
Yes.
No. Do you
Yes.
think
I
conscious
agree.
agents, it's about
I
themselves,
agree.
prefer less suffering?
I agree.
Is that a fact?
I agree that it's a fact that makes it still subjective because I agree. It's me.
It's not a fact if all conscious agents
I
prefer less suffering.
agree. It's subjective because I agree. It's me. Do you see the problem?
No, because all conscious agents that experience suffering
You're
would agree.
asserting. You're just asserting something. It's just you asserting it.
Yeah, I'm asserting a fact.
Yeah, it's you asserting that makes it you subjective. Even
No,
if
I'm asserting like it's like a natural.
But you're asserting it. You're just making an assertion. I can make
No,
many
because if you try and kill, and torture any animal or conscious being in the universe, it's going to try and avoid that suffering.
That's it. That's
That's my
true.
objective standard.
That's your okay. But
Yeah, it's like an objective fact about the natural world and conscious entities.
okay, that's you asserting something that makes it subjective. You're making an assertion. It's your moral framework. It's between your ears. You haven't done anything to the universe. You
What do
haven't.
you have to? Okay, what do I have to do to prove that it's not just my assertion?
You can't. You're stuck between your ears. Like we're all stuck.
Okay, then you don't think you just don't believe in objective morality, so
Well,
therefore we have no. We can't go anywhere.
Well, I just proved to you that you cannot have objective morality. I didn't just I'm showing you the problem. I'm showing you the problem. Like you
I
can.
don't find there is no problem.
What do you mean? I showed you that it's you asserting it. It's you.
Okay, would you have a problem with a Christian saying that objective morality?
It's the same problem. It's the Christian saying it.
God?
It's the same problem.
Okay, then we can't go anywhere.
Fine, that's the problem. That's why objective
You're an
morality.
amoral egoist. So
Well, but there's a reason. I didn't pop into existence one morning as an amoral egoist. It's through these discussions that I was backed into a corner. I used to be, a fanatic religious person, and now I'm an amoral egoist because I was backed into this corner after many, many debates. I didn't.
Can I speak to Luke now? Because you're not really having a debate now.
We're actually having a debate.
No, you're not.
Titus, you can have you can say a little bit and then let me continue with Luke.
You're not having a debate, bro. This is about veganism. I can debunk him right now.
Go ahead, but go ahead. You can take a few shots.
Okay, Luke. So you think that it's wrong just because they suffer?
that's not the only reason. That's part of it.
Okay, so what is suffering?
What is suffering? Like the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of suffering.
Yeah, could you read it out?
Yeah, an unpleasant or painful experience that is physical or mental.
Okay, so what if we stop them from experiencing pain?
Yeah, then the other component would be the moral value that they have.
Where does your moral value come from? Are you religious by any chance?
No, I'm agnostic.
So where does it come from?
Moral value, life, the fact that it's living. I believe that there's some level of autonomy it deserves.
Okay, so plants are living, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
so,
then the second component of experiencing suffering isn't there. And even if there is, it's at such a low level and it's necessary for me to eat plants, that it doesn't matter in my
Wait, no,
worldview.
no, but you said what gives it value. Part of what gives it value is that it's alive.
Yeah, that it's conscious.
Yeah. So it's the consciousness.
I would say consciousness is more important than just life.
Okay, so what if we stop the consciousness?
Then I wouldn't care.
So there we go. So we can just stop the animal's consciousness and then eat it.
Okay, no, but I would be objected. I would object to stopping the consciousness because that'd be like the same thing as killing it.
What if you
Like
kill them
stripping
when?
away something's
What if you
consciousness
kill
is
them when
killing
they're?
them.
What if you kill them when they're sleeping, painlessly?
Oh yeah.
Well, they're still
That's a good argument.
conscious.
Wait, it's sleeping.
Really?
It's in deep
Yes.
sleep.
Would you?
It's
Do you
in.
think it's okay to kill a human when they're sleeping?
No, just answer the question. Do you like you right?
Yeah, I said no.
Wait, so you're against killing? You said it's consciousness, so we took consciousness off the table, and you're still against killing?
You have no legs to
Yeah,
stand on.
because
Wait.
their consciousness will presume after they stop sleeping.
You think
No,
that
and
it's
there's
fine
also
to
a
kill a
there's a
person in coma?
No, but let's
person in
say
a coma.
no. Let's say let's say an animal.
Yeah,
Let's say
if
an
we don't
animal.
know, if we don't think they're gonna wake up, then
Yeah.
I don't think we have to extend moral value to that. It's up to the family if they want to.
We're derailing.
Continue.
The point is we've taken the consciousness part away, and you're still saying that you're still
No.
maintaining your point.
No, he says we can eat
No,
it.
because the consciousness will presume.
Wait a minute. So if we
Not if
Just
we
like
end it.
just like it's not okay to kill a human while they're sleeping.
no, forget
Because they have
about.
a life
We don't care. I don't
and
care
they
about
have
the human.
a
No, I want.
consciousness that will presume.
Stop. I don't care about the human. Right now, I'm trying to narrow down your veganism. So let's take an animal, and as it's sleeping, induce it into a coma. Like give it some drugs, and that's it. It's in a coma. It's never coming out of a coma. Then what's the problem, right? We can eat it now.
Well, the fact that you induced it into a coma is the bad part.
Why?
But it didn't suffer anything. It didn't feel anything.
Right.
Okay, I don't care about the suffering. It would be so
you do.
wrong to me, just like
why
it would
is-
be wrong to induce a human into a coma
No,
and then kill
forget.
them.
No, forget about the human. What's what?
No, you have to demonstrate why
Just
animal
answer.
and human is different.
No. So okay, look.
Yes, you do.
Okay, then we're done. Then you don't have a problem. I'm asking you to demonstrate the problem. Like, what's your objection? Your only objection is because you wouldn't do it to a human. Then then it's begging the question: why would you not do it to a human? So to answer the question, where's
Okay, we
the
can
problem?
discuss why.
Okay, where's the problem? Where's the problem?
The problem
right?
is
You
the
took
fact
an
that you
animal.
wouldn't.
You took an animal. It was sleeping. As it was sleeping, you induced some drugs into its system, and now it's never coming out of the sleep. It's sleeping forever.
Yeah,
Okay.
what you've just said is subjective morality, right? The reason why it's wrong is because you think it's wrong.
No.
Well, I think there's still parts of.
Let Mr. Slave sort of do this, killing whilst in sleep. Let him try to answer that.
Who?
Yeah, the same reason why it would be wrong to put a human to sleep and then kill them. Or
Okay,
put a
then
human
is that
to
wrong?
sleep.
Why
is it wrong?
Why is it wrong?
Yeah, why is it wrong?
Because you're taking away. You're stripping away that moral agent of autonomy over its life, which I think every conscious agent deserves.
Why do you think it deserves it?
Because it's here now and has the ability to suffer and the ability to live a life. Just like you would think it's wrong for your consciousness to be stripped away from you.
Well, that's my
I
point.
don't-
I don't think that it's
Like
My
these are
boy.
self-
You've got
Yeah,
no
that
legs to
doesn't
stand on.
follow.
No, these are self-interested, just like you're a self-interested moral agent. These things are self-interested moral agents that don't want their consciousness to be taken away.
Okay,
Yeah, but it doesn't follow that one has to act in such a way that will aid them in their goals.
Exactly.
Yes, it does, because you would have to aid another human in their goals of not stripping
I
away
don't
their
have to
autonomy.
aid another human in his goals. I don't care for humans.
Yes, you
I care
do.
for
The
me.
only
No, I
reason you
don't.
have to
So you
do
th-
that
wait, so
is
do you think it's
because
okay
the law
to
will
put a
punish you.
No, just answer the question. Stop switching
So
to
the only
humans.
reason you guys no, the only reason you guys don't kill humans is because you would be
Not
punished for
us,
it?
society as a large. Please don't make the fallacy, hasty generalization fallacy. and you're making
No,
the
I'm asking you
ecological
guys.
fallacy. Yeah, but
No,
that's an
look,
ecological
look. We
fallacy.
asked you.
What you would do on an individual basis is
No,
different.
no,
What
Hinton.
happens on a
Okay, do you
Hinton.
think humans
tribal
don't
level.
kill each other?
No, no.
Wait, no.
Look
Do you
one
think
Because
second.
there are
Look,
laws, yes.
look
We
one
literally
second.
had tribalism for like all
Hinton, one
human
second.
history.
Hinton,
so? You think
please.
most humans don't kill other
No, no.
humans
Hold on.
because they'll go to
Look,
jail?
look one second. Look.
Because there are laws,
Okay,
yes,
Hinton, I'm
and they
going
get
No,
to
that's
mute
not
you
why.
1 second. Okay, I want to talk to Luke. Luke, 1 second. So I asked you a question about an animal, and you're switching the question to me. So you're refusing to answer
Yes,
the
because
question.
I'm showing you
It's,
how
I understand. I
we can
understand.
go down this path, but I don't think humans
Luke,
and
we're speaking about your framework, not ours.
Yeah, look, it's
yeah,
right. We're asking you, so right, you need to answer the question. Hinton, I'm gonna unmute you, but like, let me speak to Luke, please. Okay, Luke. Right, so you need to answer the question.
which question is it?
Let's say we took an animal, and as it was sleeping, we gave it some drug, so it's never waking up, and now it's not doesn't have consciousness, right? It's forever sleeping. It's forever in a coma. Right? At no step did we do anything terrible, I would say. So you shouldn't have a problem with eating this animal.
I still do because
Okay.
I don't think it's right.
But
to
why?
Take
Why?
away that animal's consciousness.
Why?
So it's what you think. You think it's wrong because you think it's wrong.
Yeah.
No, it is wrong to take away that animal's
Why?
consciousness.
Why?
The same reason why it's not okay to take
No,
a human's
no, you're not.
consciousness away.
Give me the reason.
Which?
Give me the reason.
Yeah. What's the reason? And give the reason. Don't ask me if I think. Just answer the question. Like, stop evading.
I mean, it's a very intuitive thing that I don't think we should
You
take
need-
away
Yeah,
the
why?
ability for
Why,
conscious
bro?
agents to live their lives.
Why? It's not a complicated question.
Why? I would have to think
It's-
about how to word it.
Okay, think about it. We're listening. We'll help you. I'll help you. It's like,
Because by your logic,
no,
humans should be able.
No,
okay, yeah, sorry.
let's forget about the human. So you have an animal. Let's say you have a chicken, and it went to sleep. You gave it, as it was sleeping, you sprayed it with some sleeping medication, and that's it. Now it's in a deep coma. It's never coming out of it. There's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no consciousness. You didn't change it. It was already in deep sleep before, right? Before you gave it the sleeping medication, whatever. I don't see the issue. The same goes if you instantaneously chopped its head off. I don't see the problem with that either.
Okay, well, okay, would it make sense if I said that?
Please don't talk about humans.
No,
No, I won't. But
yeah, look, go ahead.
sentient beings or like conscious beings have intrinsic moral worth, so their existence has an intrinsic moral
What does
worth.
that mean? I don't know what that means.
Okay, no.
It's
I'll
intrinsic
answer.
to their existence.
Yeah, but we're taking away their sentience by taking away their conscience.
No, he's
No, but
saying.
they're still sentient beings definitionally.
But
You just
What do you mean definitionally? The chicken
Yeah,
went to sleep. Let's assume the chicken went to sleep, and as it's
Wait,
sleeping,
no. Yeah.
Let's
try this.
let's
It's
say as it's
not
sleeping.
okay to take away consciousness from these animals because
What
they
do you
have
mean by
intrinsic moral worth.
What do you mean by consciousness?
We don't
You're
even
the
know what
prey.
consciousness is.
No, yeah, let Luke answer. What do you mean by consciousness?
Part of it is self-awareness, being
What do you
aware of
mean?
your existence.
Okay.
Yeah, like having sensations, emotions, thinking.
Yeah. How does that?
And where does this intrinsic moral value that you're talking about? Where does it come from? And
No.
why do you?
We're right now. Luke is talking about like self-awareness. Okay, but if it's sleeping, it's not self-aware. The brain is off. It's sleeping.
I could just ask you why. Then
No.
is it wrong to
You
kill humans?
no. Look, you have to answer questions.
No, you're being super disingenuous.
But you're
'Cause
not answering.
You're treating animals like some different thing. You'd have to demonstrate why they're different and why it's not
No,
okay
but
to
you
strip away the consciousness of
look.
humans.
But then you're refusing to answer the question. So right.
I'm not.
What do you mean?
I need to.
What do you mean? It's right. There's no awareness. It's fully sleeping. There's no awareness. I chop the head off and I eat it. Where's the issue?
Unless you have an issue with doing that to humans,
Answer the
then
question.
we can't go anywhere.
Stop.
Do you have an issue doing that to humans?
Then look.
It's against
Right
the
now,
law.
you're the teacher. Luke, you're the teacher. You tell me. Right?
No, I'm asking you. Do you
No,
have an
no, you're
issue?
not. You're the teacher. I'm listening to you. If you don't answer, then right, then you're not answering the question.
Okay, I've.
You
The
need
reason
more.
I'm not okay with that is because I think it would be wrong to do that to humans as well.
But fine, you said right, we went with you down the rabbit hole, and you said because of awareness, and I said okay, it's sleeping. I don't care what animal, it's sleeping.
Yeah, that-
As it's sleeping, it doesn't have awareness. It's not aware of itself.
Okay,
It's
a
not
human
seeing.
doesn't have awareness when they're sleeping.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what
Well,
kind of
so
animal.
therefore it's okay to
Pick your
Mr.
favorite.
Slave.
kill them.
Don't ask me.
Mr. Slave.
Look, no, Titus, no. Look, stop asking me questions. Just answer the question. When you ask me a question, you're refusing to answer the question.
No, because you haven't answered a single question.
But
Because you're
yeah,
dodging.
what do you mean? I'm an amoral egoist. I don't have any morality. I'm an egoist. I do what's good for me. That's it.
Yeah, then our conversation means nothing.
What?
We can't get anywhere.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Answer. You're not answering the question. You're a
Because
vegan.
you seemingly can't provide me with a reason why it would be wrong to kill a human in their sleep.
Okay.
For
Fine.
what if you
But
can?
can you?
It's about look.
No,
He's
Hinton,
doing
no.
an
Yes, because I
internal
think
No,
I think
Hinton.
humans have intrinsic
Hinton,
moral worth.
Hinton, no. Hinton, it's between me and Luke. So
Just like I wouldn't want somebody to kill me in my sleep, I don't think other humans would too, and I don't think
Fine.
animals would want me to either.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, there we go. That's my reason.
No, I agree that and no animal wants to die. I agree. I don't want to die. I want to live forever. I'm gonna end up dying.
Yeah, so the subjective reason I have for not wanting to die, I respect that in other animals.
So okay, but they're okay.
Mr. Slave, please, I can make him look stupid right now.
No, don't say that. I mean, you
No,
can,
like his argument.
You can go ahead. You can say.
So wait, so you said you wouldn't do it to an animal because you wouldn't do it to a human.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're trying to apply human rules on animals.
No, it's
Yes, you are.
it's rules on conscious entities, and you'd have to demonstrate like how
No, but I told
animals
you
are different. Like, why would there be a different moral consideration?
In their sleep, they're unconscious.
Okay, why is it wrong to kill an unconscious human being?
He's
in their
asking a
sleep?
question. He's evading. He doesn't answer the question.
No, Mr. Slave, I've got this, bro. Trust me. I'm not saying you can't interrupt, but I got this. Yeah. So because we have the law, we have human rules.
Okay, so if there was a law restricting you from killing animals in their sleep, would it be okay? Or would it be wrong?
Yes.
Okay, so law is morality, is your view.
No, I've got more than morality, but the thing is, if the law
Okay, so
prohibits
then
it,
why
we follow the law of the land.
Why do you think it's bad to kill a human while they're sleeping?
Because I'm religious.
Okay, sure.
Okay, then.
Yeah, so we're talking about the law of the land here. We're not talking what
Yeah.
I think. We're talking about the law now.
No, we're not talking about the law because I think the law is wrong. I
Okay,
understand why
Titus, you're
legally it's permissible to kill it.
Yeah,
Titus.
the law allows it, so we can do it.
Titus,
Okay,
you're
sure,
arbitrarily.
but-
As soon as you're saying you're religious, it's arbitrary, and that's not.
No, I'm deviating away from it. I'm not trying to speak about my religion. He asked me where I get it from. I told him, but I then said, "We are talking about the law now."
Okay, look. Okay, so Luke, basically arbitrarily wants to honor animals the same as he honors humans. Why? I
It's
don't
not
know.
arbitrary, but
So why
He
do you
wants
do?
human rules for
Why?
animals.
Why do you? Why
no,
do
I
you?
don't.
Why do
I
you?
want more rules for humans.
Why do you
I
respect?
don't think we have to extend
Why do
all
you?
human rights to
Why?
animals,
Why?
to non-human animals,
Why? Why? Why do you want to extend? Why?
because I'm opposed to their suffering and I'm opposed to taking away their consciousness.
Okay, but we.
It's a self-defeating
think-
argument.
No, hold on. So
It's not,
we already
but-
we. Okay, but about the suffering, let's remove the suffering. Let's say there's no suffering involved. Everything is going to be painless, instantaneous. So there's no suffering. And about the consciousness, okay, why do you care? Right? We basically it went to sleep as it was sleeping. It already was not. It didn't have any awareness, and then we killed it. As it was not aware.
Yeah, because it's a self-interested moral agent, just like a human is a self-interested moral agent.
Morality coming from.
And okay, but
I mean,
yeah.
your morality is just as arbitrary as mine.
No,
if you're religious, so.
no. Don't talk about us. Talk about you. We're trying to figure out your system. So please stop switching to our system. So let's finish with your system. I'm not judging your system. Your system sounds fine. You don't have to keep switching to our system. You're doing well. It's like your system. You're arbitrarily saying, like, just like you respect human rights, you also respect animal rights just the same. That's your system.
Not just the same.
Whatever. Very similar.
I extend more rights to humans, much more.
And if I ask you why, there's no real reason. It's arbitrary.
No, there's a higher level of consciousness.
Fine, but it's arbitrary. Why do you respect consciousness? Why do you care for consciousness? Why do you value consciousness?
It's made a false statement.
No, Titus, let me. So consciousness, that's like, why not respect carbon based? So let's include plants as well. Why do you respect?
Because they're not carbon.
Right, but your respect of consciousness is arbitrary. Right? You could have.
Guess, just as it is arbitrary for me to like my own consciousness.
Okay, fine, but it's arbitrary.
I understand. I have the qualia of my consciousness.
Yes,
I
but
find
you
it
also,
valuable.
but you're also.
So I find that other things with the consciousness I have are going to find it valuable.
Yes. But you're also carbon based. You could have gone to being carbon based, not just consciousness. You could have extended it to plants as well. You could have. Carbon
No,
based
because they're not conscious.
I understand, but you could have extended it to carbon based even more than.
And even if I did, it's necessary for me to eat carbon-based plants.
Why is that important?
It's necessary.
Why is it important? But
A
you don't
lot
have
of my argument.
Wait. So wait. So what is so?
If you're in the forest
Wait
and
a
you
minute.
have to eat
Then what's
a deer
Wait
to
a minute.
live,
Wait.
that's okay.
Hold.
That's morally
So
justified.
if you didn't, so you would eat humans if. Right. So if there's no
I mean,
plants,
that gets a little more.
If there's no, you don't have any preference of humans over animals, so you would.
No, I prefer humans over animals. I would eat an animal over a human
Why?
because their ability to feel pain is higher and they have a higher level of consciousness. They're more intelligent.
Intelligence isn't consciousness.
Well, it's a part of it, but yeah.
Intelligence does not equal consciousness.
Yeah, I know. Like plants are intelligent, but they're not conscious.
Titus, with all due respect, let me please.
You're just going in circles, bro.
That's fine. It's fine. I've gone in circles with vegans, and a year later they came back and they said, "Thank you for taking us out of veganism." So you never know. It could be circles, but you're breaking down their defenses slowly. You have to give it time. Interesting. So Luke is saying that he prefers humans over animals. That's very interesting.
Most vegans do. Pretty much all vegans do.
Okay, so I mean, at the end of the day, I don't see the difference. Like, there is no real difference between me and you.
No, vegans just don't. They prefer animals over convenience and taste.
We're the same. It's just it's not like there's an
No, you're
actual.
just not. You're just not willing to not eat animals.
You could say I'm not willing enough. Like
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
right. So the difference between us is in, as they say, quantity, not quality. It's like there's no actual
Yeah, I
difference.
agree. No,
Okay.
it's a quantitative. Like, I am willing to not eat animals because of my beliefs, even if we share some of the same principles.
We
I'm just
share
more convicted.
no, we share all the same principles
No,
except
not all. But
the same principles, but you value your convenience less than I value, let's say, my convenience.
maybe.
It's
But it's not even that. You value your convenience over the suffering of animals
it's not over. It's
or the rights of animals.
but you do too. It's just that right now
Some,
you
but not my convenience.
it's right.
I would
If
I would only kill out of necessity.
right, which is right, let's define a spectrum of convenience, right? So on one side of convenience is necessity, and the other
No.
one is pure indulgence.
Convenience is not necessity.
No, you could say that there's a spectrum of convenience. On one side, it's necessity. On the other side, it's pure indulgence, right? That would be the spectrum of convenience.
Maybe, but when you get to the point of necessity, it's not convenience.
It's a spectrum. On one side of convenience
I
is
deny that it's a spectrum. I think it's like a pretty clear, distinct divide. But
you don't see how what you call necessity. There's levels of necessity. Like you can forgo. Like how much can you forgo? Like if you cannot forgo, then it becomes a necessity.
yeah, I think there's a level of necessity.
Exactly.
There's a spectrum of necessity.
Exactly.
But the spectrum of necessity is distinct from the spectrum of convenience.
So I think it's the same spectrum. It's just that
maybe
on like I would call it the spectrum of convenience. On one side, we call it necessity. On the other side, we call it indulgence or something. But it's a spectrum of.
Maybe.
So you're like a 9 and I'm a 5 on that spectrum. Like I'm closer to indulgence. Like I don't want to, like I'm 5. Like I don't care either way. Like and you're like a 9. You're like you're willing to forgo all, like, a lot of pleasure and
I
like
guess so, yeah.
okay, so there's no essential difference between us. It's not like you're a vegan more than I am. We're just as vegan.
Well, you're not a vegan, but yeah.
No, we just proved that we live on the same spectrum. It's just that I'm a 5 and you're a 9. So
Oh, vegan, like, definitionally wouldn't eat foods derived from animals,
no,
but you agree with some of the vegan principles.
No, we just showed that veganism is a spectrum. That you're a 9 on the spectrum and I'm a 5. We both live on the same spectrum. We don't have
Well, that's not
difference.
the veganism spectrum. I would reject.
We don't. There's no difference between us. We couldn't find. Hello, Luther. We couldn't find a difference between us, right? We agree. There's nothing you can say that we disagree on.
Well, you don't agree that we should extend the same moral value
Of
when it
course,
comes to
of course I
being killed and
do.
eaten
Of course
to
I
animals.
do. Of course I do. What do you mean? Of course
No, because you actively eat animals, so you
But that's
contribute to systems that reject those
because
animals' moral value.
But no, I
So
believe.
you obviously don't value it.
Of course, I value animals. I love animals. No, I
Not
don't.
enough to not eat them.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay, so there's a fundamental difference in the way we value animals. There we go.
No, it's not fundamental.
Yes.
No, it's not
It's fundamental that I value animals enough to not eat them if it's not necessary. or you will eat them for indulgence. That's fundamentally different.
I
would agree, or I would say.
Look, we don't disagree on any principle. There's no principle on which we disagree.
Oh, I just showed you one.
No, it's a spectrum.
Yeah, I don't. I have a principle of thinking it's not okay to eat animals if
I
it's not
agree.
necessary.
Look, I agree. I don't kill animals unnecessarily. I only kill
But
animals.
yes, you do. Every time you go to the grocery store and
I
buy
feel,
something,
but that's because on the spectrum, I feel it's necessary. It's just that
so you don't agree with my principle.
it's the same. We agree on the principle. Which principle do we
Well, it's
disagree
not
on?
necessary. That
Which
it's
principle?
necessary. It's not necessary.
That's not a principle. Whatever I feel is necessary is not. That's not a principle. That's like already,
Well,
that's
no,
not.
you just don't understand what necessary is then.
What do you mean?
Because you don't necessarily have to eat meat.
Okay.
You prefer to eat meat.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's not it's not necessity. Therefore, you don't agree with my principle
Which principle?
that it's not okay to eat animals if it's not necessary.
I agree with that.
You don't, because
Yes,
you
I do.
eat animals unnecessarily.
I feel it is necessary.
Yeah, you have a fundamental misunderstanding of necessary. Then.
Okay, but fine. Yeah, okay, you could say that, or you could say that we live on a spectrum, and I live closer to indulgence. You live farther away from indulgence.
Okay, I guess we can leave it at that. I don't know. I unfortunately have to go. So
I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
yeah, it was a good talk. I'm glad
Yeah,
we could
definitely.
we
Thank
could
you.
talk it out.
Definitely. Thank you. I'll send you a request,
Yeah.
friend request. Bye.
For sure. Have a good one.
You too. Lucero, Anime Spurg.
What's up, Spurg?
What's up?
Yo, we're just chilling.
I know you. You used to run some atheist type chat in politics, right?
Yeah, that's right, man. Smart atheist.
Do you still? Yeah. No, that one's still active. I just haven't been in politics a lot.
Yeah, it's selective, man. We're still working on it. So
That's
yeah.
one of the better ones I remember. Like the smarter people would usually hang out in there.
Right. But they didn't give us a permanent room, So it's pretty hard to build a community if you cannot mod people, into your community. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Mrs. Slave, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Nice profile picture. Looks pretty nice, man. Looks good.
Thanks.
Nice old lady, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about philosophy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' takes on like non-inferential account of justification?
What? None. I couldn't hear what you said.
What's your take on like non-inferential accounts of justification?
Non-inferential accounts of justification?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain the words and then whatever? What is it?
Yeah, like some type of content that's going to be conferring justification, but
Conferring?
the content itself is not conceptual.
Oh my God,
So
you're
it's
like,
non-inferential.
I don't speak Discord that fluently, so you got to break it down for me. So,
What do you mean Discord? These are like formal terms in philosophy.
well,
I'm
it's a bit
just talking about an inference. Do you know what an inference is?
barely.
It's going to be like a conceptual relation between normative predicates.
All right, let's take that. Fine. Yeah, that's an inference.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's going to be inferential forms of justification.
What
and those are going to obviously be conceptual.
what does that
Because if
mean?
it's inferential, it's conceptual. It means that it represents semantic content.
Semantic content?
Yeah. So I'm asking you if you take it that there's going to be other types of content that's non-inferential based on how we characterize what inferential means.
No, I'm losing you. You're way too fast.
Yeah, this is so. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What is
Like
it?
whatever like is going to be non-inferential on my account is going to be something like an intuition. That would be something that's not
I don't know
inferential.
I don't know what you're saying. You got to slow down.
So why don't you just ask if intuitions are valid as justification or something like that?
Yeah.
Just to be clear, when I say non-inferential, when I say this thing is non-inferential, I'm saying it's not relating to any sort of inferences.
True. Just God.
Can
Yeah, it's not
what,
relating to inference.
what's the
Just God.
question? What's your question?
So I'm asking if you think there are non-inferential types of justification. Things can be justified without relating to any type of inference.
What do you mean by justification?
The justification is just going to be the conceptual attribute of the content of whatever it is that's non-inferential.
Yeah, you gotta speak English. I don't know what you're saying.
I don't understand what you're saying, bro. To be honest, and I don't know if you're when you're speaking like that. It's just too complicated for me. You
Yeah,
know,
you gotta bring
yeah,
it down all the way, to street level.
it's very slow. You
All
know,
right. Do you know the difference between knowing things through experience and knowing things independently of experience?
I don't think it's possible to know independent of experience.
Yeah. So the idea would be that there would be certain conditions necessary, like criteria, in order for there to be any possibility of existence in the first place. And those types of things can't be derived from the experience itself of existence. They have to
I
exist
gotta go.
absolutely independently of the experience.
So, as far as I understand, we cannot know what we don't experience. All our knowledge is derived from experience.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm saying you're begging the question because even though I'm agreeing with you that all of our knowledge is awakened by experience, that doesn't mean that it's dependent on or derived from experience. It could exist absolutely independently of any experience, and the experience we have just awakens our awareness of that knowledge.
Okay, so as far as I know, knowledge is just, our brains is just a neural network, and knowledge is just the weights in the neural network. And
You
the
think
weight,
that your entire conscious experience is in your skull?
yes,
Is happening. You think your entire conscious experience is reduced down and explained by everything in your skull,
yes.
nothing beyond your skull.
Well, I'm a scientist. I'm scientific, so I'm a
That's
materialist.
not what I'm asking. I'm asking if you take it that consciousness is going to
Yes,
be
yes,
reduced down to the material things.
yes,
Okay, so
yes.
if it is the case, then how are you going to give an account of identity?
Well,
How do you explain how mental states and physical states co-refer, how they refer to each other?
how mental states and
Yeah.
what states?
So if I have an experience of pain
Mm-hmm.
and I tell you about that experience,
Mm-hmm.
you're still never going to be able to understand or
Mm-hmm.
feel what my experience feels like. Because for all you know, we could be experiencing completely different things and
Right.
just calling it the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm getting at is that experience that you have that's private to you
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm calling a mental state. And what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is that when you have that experience of a mental state,
Mm-hmm.
how are you giving an account as to how that mental state is the physical thing in question? How are you explaining that?
I don't understand your question.
Do you understand what a mental state is? I just explained to you what a
Yeah.
mental state is.
Yeah, that I understand. A mental state
Okay.
is like internal.
What is a mental state?
My internal experience
Internal.
of pain.
It's private because no one else can access it.
Yes, that I understood. Yes.
Okay. So it's private. So I'm asking you if we have this private thing, which is your mental state,
Mm-hmm.
how can that private thing
Mm-hmm.
be a public thing?
Well,
Because you're saying it is a physical state. Physical states do not exist in your mind.
what do you when? Well, but the mind is a physical device. It's just a neural network.
Yeah. But physical things do not exist in your mind. That's not what you
Oh,
believe.
what do you mean physical thing? Like the rest of the universe?
All of the things around you, all of the objects around you,
Well,
according to you, they're all physical things that exist outside of your mind, correct? They
well,
exist outside of your mind.
well, but as far as I know, right, the universe is just between my ears. As far as I know, like I don't know if the universe actually exists outside of like we need to make
So then how can you know anything? How
right.
can you even make the claim to know that?
Right. So we need to make some assumptions. So let's assume there is a like an objective universe. That's going to be our first assumption. And the second assumption is that this objective universe, we experience it through our sensations, eyes and ears and hands and stuff. And then it goes, the sensation travels into the brain and modifies the weights. Now, the outside universe has been experienced by the brain. And the brain now is aware of this outside universe. Now, what's your
Yeah.
question?
So the problem is you're giving an example of how the brain's functioning, and by you're not making a distinction between your mind and your brain, which I understand.
Okay.
What I'm getting at is if you can think about the fact that you have private thoughts, which we've already established,
Yeah.
you've demonstrated that you can be aware that you have private thoughts. So you're thinking about the fact that you have private thoughts.
All
So
my
if you're able to do that, then that sort of mental state that is private,
Mhm.
you're saying it is private because I can't get inside your mind and feel what that feels like. So
Okay.
you're saying it is private, but it's also public at the same time
How is it
because that mental state is just a physical brain. It's nothing private.
I'm not sure what
So
you
you're
mean.
creating a distinction and saying there's no distinction at the same time.
I'm not sure what you mean by public. By well, like
By public, that means that it's mind independent. We can access it.
I'm not sure what you
We
mean by
can we can we can
I mean, the universe. We axiomatically said there is an outside universe.
Yeah, so there's a mind independent universe.
Yeah.
And you're saying we can access that.
Yeah.
And it exists outside of your mind and my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
We axiomatically.
But you're saying that your mind is just a thing in that universe.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mind is not outside of that universe.
Correct.
Okay, so let's say there was someone who was identical to you
Mm-hmm.
in another universe. And in this
Like
universe,
another. What do you mean by?
they're physically the same as you.
What
They
do you
look exactly like you
wait?
physically.
What do
They
you
have the
mean?
exact same
What do you?
physical.
Hold on. Hold.
What are you
Hold.
confused on?
What do you mean by another universe? Like universe by definition, there's only one.
Okay, so by universe, I'm just saying the ways in which this actual universe could have been different.
Oh,
So
parallel.
the universe is just everything that exists, but it could be the case, like let's say for example, that
Uh-huh.
everything that exists in the universe is material. You would agree with that.
Yeah.
So if it's the case that everything that exists is material, it could have been the case that everything that exists was mental and not material. And the reason why that could have been the case, even though it's not actually the case, is because it's not contradictory. So we could do that for many different ways. We can start thinking of many different ways that the world could have been different. And I'm just saying, well, let's think of in this world where you exist, it could have been the case that you exist in a completely different world than this world, but it's still a world that could possibly happen. And in that world, you are the same physical being as this world, but you don't have any mental experience. You would have to say that it would be the case that
Hold,
that thing
hold on. Hold on.
lacks consciousness,
Hold on.
even though they're physically identical to you.
Okay.
So it can't be the case that consciousness is reduced down to a physical thing.
Okay. When I say hold on, there's no point in you continuing to talk because I'm not following. So like, where are you going with this? Like, what do you wanna what do you wanna prove? What's your ultimate goal?
I'm just saying if there's a world where these beings exist that are physically identical to us.
Okay.
So they're
I get lost.
physically has all of the
I
same
hold
physical.
on. Oh, please, wait a minute. What? Start from your ultimate conclusion. Maybe I agree with your conclusion, and then there's no need to ask the question. What's
The conclusion is that the conclusion is that consciousness cannot be explained by or identical to anything physical. That's the conclusion.
but that's unscientific.
Consciousness is wholly separate.
But that would
This
be
is prior to science. So
okay.
this is a.
This is
Do you know how they talk about certain like underlying first principles that underlie all theories?
okay.
That's what we're dealing with here. It's a critique on that level. It's an abstract critique.
Okay.
That's the problem. So none of your scientific evidence is going to matter. Even if I were to give scientific evidence in favor of your view or my view, none of that's going to matter because this is an underlying critique against how you're able to build a theory in the first place between the mind and the brain.
But
It's a conceptual problem.
okay, but how do you know anything?
That has nothing to do with this critique. I don't know why you're bringing up my theory of knowledge. That has nothing to do with this critique.
But you
We're
agree
talking
that
about the
the
mind
only
and the brain.
but the only way to know is through science, is through experience.
That's not true. It's not true.
How else
You
would
can know things outside of science.
how?
You can
Give
know
me an
that,
example.
yeah, you can know that all triangles are three-sided
But
outside of any
right.
empirical phenomena. You just think about it and it's true.
So the way I understand how the brain works, the only reason you can imagine a triangle is because you've experienced lines and stuff, right? So if you
That's
do,
wrong. Science isn't in the business of explaining why things happen. Science is in the business of explaining how things happen. So they're able to describe this process of brain development, but they're not able to explain or describe the actual nature of knowledge or consciousness itself. It's not explaining why it is a certain way
hold on.
as opposed to being another way.
Okay,
It's not giving an explanation for the true nature of
hold
the
on.
thing. In this
Hold,
case, it's consciousness.
hold on. Look, right? So the way I understand how the brain works is that it's a neural network and it's been trained. And if it wasn't trained, then it would have random weights, arbitrary weights, and then it wouldn't be able to imagine a triangle. The only way you can imagine a triangle is because you were trained on a triangle.
Okay, but you realize how you're just begging the question
What do
because
you mean?
I'm bringing up a critique that's critiquing the nature of consciousness itself. You're explaining to me this brain process and the scientific consensus, and I'm granting that to you because I'm saying that none of that answers the question that I'm addressing to you, which is what is your account of the actual nature of consciousness itself? You can just keep begging the question saying, well, consciousness is just the brain. It is just the brain, but you're not giving an explanation for the actual nature of consciousness because you're just repeating the claim that's on the table. You're not justifying it. You're not showing how it has to be the case that that is the only correct theory, that consciousness is identical to a physical brain. And I've given you an argument that you didn't respond to. I said it's logically possible for there to be a world in which there's someone physically identical to you, meaning numerically identical. That's a real thing in metaphysics. So we're talking about numerical identity, and yet that being lacks consciousness. If that is logically possible, then it can't be the case that consciousness is reduced down to the physical composition, which in this case is going to be the physical composition of you in this world and the exact same physical composition in another possible world that has the same laws of nature.
Okay,
So if
hold
you're
on.
following what I'm saying,
No, I'm not.
you have no response.
Okay. I'm not following exactly what you're saying. I'm not following, but if you right, but right. So when you say consciousness, I imagine a neural network. Like we know what conscious. Like it's just like when you say a triangle, I know what a triangle is. When you say
Okay, but what I'm saying is
hold on,
there could
hold on,
be a possible world where there is
hold,
someone who has the exact same human body as
hold,
you
hold
and
on.
has the same neural network as you, but in this world they lack consciousness. So if it's the case they have the same neural network as you and the same body as you, but they don't have consciousness
is
in
a
this
neural
world, then that means, listen, then that means
anime.
consciousness can't be reduced down to the neural network.
Anime,
It exists outside of the neural
you're
network.
hogging the mic. Look,
Because you're not responding to you're just
trying.
dodging. That's what
I'm
you're doing.
I'm trying.
You're not trying, you're dodging. I don't want to let you dodge. Address what I'm asking you. Address the argument.
Look, I'm sorry if you don't look if you feel that I'm dodging, we can go each. Yeah. Discord. So he wants to say he is a religious person and he believes in God and he needs God and he doesn't like the physical brain. They hate the physical brain. They need spirituality. And when you try to talk to them and narrow them down and corner them, they run away as per usual. Yeah. So he wants God to have consciousness without a physical brain, which is impossible because a brain is a neural network. Consciousness is what a neural network is, the effect of a neural network. Intelligence is a neural network. You cannot have intelligence, as far as we know, without a neural network. The brain is a neural network. You need a physical brain to have consciousness, to have intelligence. So, but he needs godliness and spirituality, and he hates the body, and he wants the mind to be he wants mind independence. So yeah, what's going on in general? Sudels, what time is it? Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? Anyway, how long have we been here? Oh, over 3 hours. All right, I think we're done. It's been a rough day on Discord, on the trenches of Discord. I'll be back. And in greater numbers.